between two shady sides.
Well, even then, here's the thing: weren't the Persians the invaders, so the Spartans had every right to defend their home?
Yep. Whether they were
Yeah.
assholes or not, they were literally
Yep,
defending their lands.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But
It's,
guys, we should be one nation, no borders, a new world order.
is. And we are live, by the way. Hello everybody.
Oh,
Welcome to another episode of Y.A.R.P. And today we have another guest. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself?
hi there, everyone. My name is JakeTheSurgen. I'm so glad to be here with y'all.
Oh,
Fantastic.
yes. And
Uh,
today, we all
today,
get to crack as
God,
we listen to the borderline insane ramblings of what used to be funny of cracked.com. Apparently, they are still around, still making
I
videos. Some of you might even be familiar with them.
I used to. The only thing I used to watch from them was their after hours thing, where it was just the four people just hanging out in the diner and just talking about nonsense, just talking about bullshit. And I thought that used to be really funny, and now I've rewatched one of those episodes without you guys around, and I was like, oh, this is not funny. This is not funny at all. Uh, so it's so they have some opinions on things like historical accuracy and just apparently their opinions on various fictional franchises. So shall we dive right in, gentlemen?
Yeah, I do want to say before you full screen, just take a gander at that like to dislike ratio.
Uh oh jeez.
Oh God, no,
73
no,
79K
no.
loved this and only 13K disliked it. Jesus.
Oh no,
All right,
no.
let's get this shit fucking going.
Welcome to Hilarious Helmet History, the show where today's cultural historical misconceptions are even sillier than my helmet. 300 presents us with
I mean, that's a gladiator helmet. That's not silly at all. In fact, it was actually very protective. You're just
Yeah, I mean that helmet's like that helmet's really good design.
mm-hmm.
Sparta
I'm
as
gonna
the
go out on a
defense.
limb and say it's just a gimmick. Like he's just look, I'm wearing a helmet while I talk. Aren't I silly?
Well, you're silly for wearing it like that, on your head like that,
Defenders
and
of Western
without like the actual attire. But whatever.
Right.
civilization, outnumbered by a galaxy of despotic Persian aliens. Its Spartans are basically the men in black, but for freedom.
Wait, Persian aliens? That was Ephialtes. He was just a deformed Spartan.
I don't know.
To save democracy from Persia's wacky oriental army of combat rhinos, the cave troll from Lord of the Rings, and a harem of quadriplegic female sex slaves. Still, you're smart. You understand that troglodyte isn't a realistic human from ancient Iran. You understand artistic choices. But Frank Miller and Zack Snyder's Tom of Holland Fest movie doesn't just exaggerate history, it gets it backwards. They kept telling you ancient Spartans fought for
our lands, for our families, for our freedom.
But the reality was 2 out of 3. If anybody fighting at Thermopylae represented freedom, it was Persia. And this
Okay,
How?
Well, he might provide some context, maybe.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: Persia was in an invading force. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna take Greece."
Well, but if their argument is Spartans had slaves, therefore bad, then Persia would be seen as the liberating army, not just invaders.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, we all Sparta had slaves. Yeah, I think that's pretty much given. But like, they
Oh
were
my god,
defending their
a
land.
society in the ancient world having slaves? Say it isn't so.
Yeah,
Slaves were made in
especially
America.
God
espe-
damn it, Wyatt, you know better. America invented racism and slavery. Quit fucking with the narrative.
yeah, like there were no like brown people along the Barbary Coast going into Europe taking Europeans from coastal villages and selling them to Arabs and North Africans. That never happened.
No.
Right? That never happened. Indentured servitude of the Irish? Nope. That's fake news.
Bit of anti-Persian trash talk coming from a Spartan
Run along and tell your Xerxes he faces free men here, not slaves.
would have been awfully confusing to a Persian. The Achaemenid Persian Empire, the one that
Well,
invaded Greece
not
twice.
necessarily. I would imagine that Sparta had slaves. Sure, their fighting force was still comprised of Spartans. They would use slaves as like menial labor while the Spartans were off fighting.
Yeah.
And weren't the slaves Mesopotamians or something? They weren't actually Spartans, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point. Like, they would be seen as like a lesser class of citizen. They wouldn't be allowed to fight alongside the elite Spartan forces.
Yeah.
So while the statement might be a little weird coming from a nation that owns slaves, it's still technically correct in that you face free men here. You're facing Spartans, not slaves.
Yeah.
Mm.
was the largest empire the world had ever seen. And other than a few long-term POWs, they built that Persian Empire without slaves. They generally banned owning other
You sneaky motherfucker. Did you long-term POWs? Let's just slide that in there real casual like.
Yeah, long-term POWs, but guys, they weren't slaves, okay? They weren't slaves. They were only people of different nations that were captured.
There's an entire generation of veterans that will explain to you how being a POW is arguably worse.
Oh yeah, you're fucking like, especially Vietnam. Like, what do they do? Like, they like stick bamboo shoots underneath your fucking fingernails.
They'd make you play Russian roulette.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette with a full chamber. with you know what I mean.
people. Whereas, as a Spartan soldier, Muscles McGee would have personally owned a bunch of slaves. Spartan society was a rigid caste system. The male Spartan citizens at the top of the Spanakopita were legally required to be full-time soldiers. Since stuff like
it's
legally required to be full-time soldiers. Okay, that doesn't sound awful at all.
It's almost, oh my god, I feel like after this I'm gonna need to show you guys like a fucking Fact Fiend video where they're talking about how like Spartans were like the complete fucking top tier top dogs of the ancient world, and just fucking they'd be like, oh, you have fucking puny walls, and like an Athenian would go like, oh, where are Sparta's walls? And the soldier would just hold out his spear. It's like, oh, that far.
Like, okay, like in here, look, the third down freed slaves, so slaves could be freed. Okay.
Yeah, that indicates that there's some sort of a system in place that allows slaves to essentially earn their freedom, or be granted their freedom, or whatever the case may be. It is an option. Like, you're not just a slave forever.
But guys, they had slaves to begin with, so that means that the brown people are good.
Yep.
Excuse me. Farming needed to happen. That economically required Sparta's soldier men to hold slaves. Slaves they were legally required to beat. Persia's military had full-time soldiers too, but Persia wasn't psycho enough to force every adult male into their army. Instead, they recruited a military from across their empire, paid for it with tax dollars, and ran it with a federal government. That sounds awfully modern for happening 2,500 years ago. And the more you look at ancient Persia,
yeah, and yet they lost for the most part in the Battle of Thermopylae.
No. I'm curious if he would make the same comparison about the Roman army, because they operated very similarly. But here's the thing about empires, my dude. They fucking conquer. So your choice is join our army or fucking die. Whether I pay you is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
pretty much.
Even if I paid you, you're still now part of the army, and you really didn't have that much of a choice.
Yeah, the Holy Roman Empire, like, it was fueled on two things: conquest and whatever bullshit was going on at the time. If they, like, Jesus, their currency was conquest, making more Romans.
the more Western they seem. Their empire's founder, Cyrus II, was a multiculturalist. He didn't force his religion on the many territories he conquered. His actions...
Multiculturalist, I'm sorry, multiculturalism's cancer.
I don't even know what that means other than like what it kind of sounds like.
So what it's supposed to sound like is like people of various different cultures, existing in the same place, peacefully. That's what the ideally is. But from my experience, I could be speaking as an ignorant piece of shit by this, but from my experience and how it's usually used as a way of like all cultures are beautiful, essentially.
Oh.
even helped free the...
I mean, come on. Yeah, all cultures are beautiful. I mean, everybody knows that gays can fly. They just need a little push.
Jewish tribes in captivity in Babylon so they could go build a new temple in Jerusalem. That tolerance was revolutionary for its time because Persia's imperial predecessors, the Assyrians and the Chaldeans, tended to rule that region by skinning and impaling people. If you paid your taxes and didn't revolt, you were a Persian. But if you weren't quite muscular...
And if you just accepted the Romans, you'd be a Roman.
Yeah. I like how he's not like he's only going over some of the. I know this is like for normies and whatnot, but I like how he's just going over some of these baseline things.
Yeah, he really is.
Hey, if you just paid your taxes, and then and even then, like Persia was like, yeah, we're gonna take Greece. Yeah, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna take them, and the Spartans are like, nah, this is my land, bitch. This is my land. This is you go over there. You stay there.
Enough of a baby, Spartans enslaved you, or you. And Persian kings like Darius I, who the 300 movies use as tyrannical props, sorry Darius, were leaders who improved their dominions, building roads, refining bureaucracies.
First of all, the second movie of 300 was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it's really...
I have not seen it.
I don't think it's fair to lump it into the comparison, because it tries to, like, retcon and change a whole lot of shit. So... it just, I don't know, if you're taking just 300, just the story of Thermopylae on its own, like, yeah, you can argue that Frank Miller and Zack Snyder added some fantastical elements to it, but more or less, the meat and potatoes of it is all there.
Standardizing currency.
He's talking about, like, taxes, but he's not specifically saying, well, how much was the tax bracket? Was it a fair tax? Was it Soviet Union level tax?
And pioneering.
Well, he's describing, like, the Persian Empire as being multicultural, like it's a good thing. Again, it's easy to draw the comparison to Rome. Rome would take over an entire area, and yeah, they would now tell the people that they were Romans, but a lot of that was in name only. Like, they were still considered lower class citizens.
Yeah.
Because they weren't purebloods, they weren't born in Rome.
Yeah. And speaking of the Roman empires, I'd just like to say that give a shout out to my Celtic ancestors for giving Rome a good fight. We may have lost, but Rome fell in the end, and that's all that matters.
Shout out to Caligula.
Lots of good government work.
Oh, just for no reason, just to shout out Caligula.
Heck, while the Greeks in Sparta were busy oiling each other's abs, the Greeks in Persian-occupied Asia Minor were building a wonder of the ancient world. And don't worry, I've seen the sequel to 300, because I use my time well. I know it argues...
Well, what about Athens? What about... Or was Athens in Asia Minor?
Nope.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, okay. I don't... It might have been, like, a minor part of Asia that the Persians owned or whatever. But,
man,
I guess I just don't see how it's like, okay, they were building a fucking wonder of the world. Okay, and? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. I mean...
They were building a building.
I mean, the Nazis, like, gave us Fanta soda, Volkswagen, the Autobahn, so the Nazis were all right, that, right?
Use creep.
A lot of our animal rights laws come from the Nazis, so
We
You know,
got to the moon because of the Nazis.
Yeah. Heil Hitler!
Okay, Susan.
Creepy, crazy Sparta still saved Western civilization because they fought for,
A free Greece. An Athenian experiment called democracy.
of course, Athens was a democracy where voting was limited to adult male landowners and where Socrates was sentenced to death for thought crimes.
Okay, again, taking the pot shots. It's like, dude, the most of democracies start out that way,
Yeah. Oh,
where it's the dude landowners that get to vote.
a free Greece. Wow, a free Greece? You as a Greek citizen don't want an external force invading and taking over because you value your lands, your family, your culture, and you're afraid of this massive invading force and you want to fight them? Holy shit. You know, yeah, oh, that sounds awful. Fuck the Greece. They sound like
Man.
real bigots.
Wow, we're actually getting, like, we're blazing right through this. Damn.
To be fair though, cracked videos are short and they don't really say a whole lot.
Well, yeah, but even with fucking, even with the Lord of the Rings video, Y.A.R.P still, like, took, like, 45 minutes out of, like, a 5-minute video to rip it to shreds.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Athens was democratic. Some Athenians could vote on everything from major laws to who served as their generals. But the Spartans didn't save Athenian democracy. They actively kicked the crap out of it. And not just because Persian victory at Thermopylae let the Persians burn Athens down. 3 years after Thermopylae, Sparta gave up on fighting the Persians. Athens had to carry on without their help. Since Athens was just one city, they formed an epic alliance with the rest of Greece. And it pushed the Persians back. But then Sparta got jealous of Athens' new importance, so Sparta started decades of brutal wars against Athens. And when Sparta started losing,
Fuck those
But you
Athenians.
okay, the Greek city-states were warring before and before the Persians invaded. Greece hated each other. Like they just, it's like, Mom, Athens took my ball.
You just what's with the hedgy? That's Darth Edgehog, and he will not be fucking. Nope, I'm making it bigger. So anytime somebody recognizes him, he gets bigger.
Yeah.
Any
Dad, Sparta called me a faggot.
losing to Athens in what's called the Corinthian War, they figured out the perfect way to turn the tide against those darned Athenian Democrats, which was to team up on Athens with Persia, which means those guys' descendants
Also, he's basically taking stuff that happens before the story and after the story and saying this is why these should have been the good guys in the story.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that have to do with what we're presented in the film, in the story?
Yeah, like even if they're like even if they like embellish it, which yeah, that's fine. They get some things wrong historically, and yeah, they do. You still have Persia invading Greece, and you have the Greeks going, "Oh hell nah, you get the fuck out of here."
were allies, and they crushed Athens. Athens never recovered, and Sparta let Persia manipulate Greek politics to serve Persian interests for years to come. But Alex, you say, how did we get Western civilization if Athens got squished? Well, a lot of factors, but one of the biggest factors was good Persian governance that strengthened Macedonia, a backwater territory north of Greece. Macedonia thrived while Sparta and Athens headbutted, but that backfired for Persia.
This is one of those times where I'm like, Slur, I really wish you were here because he knows, he's our accidental history buff. Unfortunately, couldn't be here today for some reason.
So yeah, but quick question: didn't Alexander the Great slaughter the Persian Empire? He's just like, Alexander the Great bitch.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of just how he functioned.
Yeah, he just like went through Persia and just like, nah, man, this my shit now. This is mine.
That's the wrong link. I almost just fucking shared the video. I was about to be like, hey, we're live, and hey, we're live, and it was just the cracked video. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I can't do
Persia, because a thriving Macedonia rose up and conquered the entire Persian Empire, plus Greece and a little of India, thanks to Alexander the Great. Since Persian systems were the
Fucking
most
Chad
effective
of
government
Chads.
Alexander knew of,
Yeah, he was the Chad of Chads. He fucking elephants rode them through the fucking mountains.
Yeah. Didn't like Caesar go to a statue of Alexander the Great and like kind of broke down saying, "I would never be as I'm not as good as you," basically.
I don't know.
Which I mean, I don't know. I heard something about that. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I wouldn't be surprised because like very few, even to this day, are as good as Alexander the Great.
he copy and pasted them across his even larger empire. After he died, his empire came apart, which cleared the Mediterranean for the Alexander-imitating, culture-absorbing Roman Empire. Rome fell, the Dark Ages happened, that led to Roman-influenced European empires that colonized North and South America, which means Persia influenced America's traditions a whole lot more than Sparta's angry slavery town ever did. And though the Persians...
Fuck
When was
off.
anybody ever claim? When was anyone ever claiming that Athens influenced the U.S. Or at least how the Western world operated? No one, like the idea, like the whole thing is like like the base idea of democracy is kind of fostered in Athens. It was just later generations that honed and refined it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like see the brown people are why you filthy, disgusting white people have your democracy. But no, like I'm sorry, like the Persians were the invaders, so the Greeks had every right to defend themselves. So fuck off. Fucking
had faults.
wear that
They
helmet
weren't
right.
free-
Wear that helmet right, you stupid.
Yeah, that thing didn't
Sorry.
hinge. That thing was a solid block. That's what made it such an effective helmet. Like, fucking wear
Yeah,
it
like-
over your fucking face.
Yeah, wear it over your face. Don't wear it like if you're gonna wear a helmet, wear a helmet. Commit to it. Fucking soy cuck mother.
You're like Scrappy. You're just like, let me at him. Let me at him. Just taking the swing. Just like, hey, easy.
freedom-devouring monster gods, despite what you've been told by America's blue screen bullshit assemblers, novelty gun hat makers, and
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't want to fucking hear gun shit coming from somebody in California.
Who's probably never even seen, let alone held a gun.
absolute
Yeah,
finest.
Hey guys, let's not forget.
There is
that-
a reason that even in other forms of fiction, such as Halo, the Spartans have a status. They have a legacy.
they were top tier in their day.
Yes, they are respected and known for being the most badass warriors for a fucking reason.
Right.
Yeah.
This did not come out of thin fucking air. And it didn't start just because Frank Miller drew a goddamn comic book.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Spartans
like-
were the legendary fucking warriors of ancient times, and also massive shit talkers. There was a time where a guy was running from like a platoon of Spartan soldiers. He went into a temple thinking that would give him safe passage, but then as he waited there for like a few hours, he was like, "Huh, I wonder why they're not coming inside." They bricked up the entrance so he would starve to death. They don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
Yeah, like, and again, the Persians were the bad guys because they were invading on territory. Like, how the fuck do you think empires are formed?
Well, but these are the same people who believe that if a robber breaks into your house, you should just sit there on the couch and let them steal things. You responding to them just causes more problems.
Yeah.
Did they really fucking say that?
They really fucking
yeah, they
said
do.
that.
They fucking.
Oh my god.
No, there's no defense of your fucking self or your property. Like
Your property is not worth someone else's life, even if they've made this decision to break in.
Mhm.
Because at that point, to me, as far as I'm concerned, you've made the decision that my property is worth more than your life, not me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You knew the risks of breaking in and committing a crime. You chose to do it anyway.
Yeah, and it's
I
like
mean, yeah.
and another fucking problem is like like if you don't like kill them, like they're gonna sue you for like the damage, like for like the injuries and the hospital bills. And it's like you broke into my
I'm sorry.
home.
You broke into like I'm sorry. You broke into my home. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if a robber did try to do that, but it's like you broke into my home. What did you expect? What did you expect?
No,
Grease
there's
weed.
legal precedents where they like broke in, tried to steal shit, got hurt, sued the homeowner, and won.
Wow.
Yep, multiple cases where that has
Holy,
happened.
that is.
Hey,
oh my
hey,
God.
Jake, get a little bit more closer to your mic. Chat was saying that.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Yeah, it's better. Jesus.
I don't know. Like I
Christ.
turned up the gain. I actually let me take the little.
So the gain isn't really the problem because that just that basically just filters out the background noise when you're not talking. You still need to like kind of have like the distance between you and your mic that you just talk into. That's why I have like the screen up now, because I used to be one of those people that think you just need to like swallow the mic while you're talking, and that'll make things good, right?
No, it won't.
It's like that's why now I have the screen, and now I talk at a pretty decent distance away from my mic.
Muscle toucher uppers.
Is this good right here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good.
Wow, what a pause screen.
I don't.
Oh my God, bro! Sparta would eat you alive.
Eat all of us alive. They'd be
Yeah.
like, the only thing that would save us would be our guns. They'd be like, oh, this pasty white guy, fucking. Well, actually, we'd be considered possible giants, because remember, Napoleon was tall for his time.
Wait, Napoleon? Yeah, oh yeah, Napoleon was like what, 5 something?
Yeah, we were like. Like, that's the thing. If we were to ever time travel to, like, even these times, we'd be considered,
well,
depending on the area
you wouldn't.
What?
I mean,
you're like 5'9", bro. I mean, that's that's not exactly giant.
Well, no, I was
I'm
saying
6'5", so
not the point.
Yeah,
I was more.
You
saying,
you and me would be giants, Jake. I'm 6'3".
I was more saying
like
if we were in Napoleon's time, like if we were in Napoleon's time, we'd be considered tall. And I was actually about to say like apparently if we went even further in time, we'd be considered like, I don't want to say godlike, because we'd be a lot paler than them because of all their time spent out in the sun.
What's the sun? What are you talking about? What's that?
It's
I
really.
hear some people think it's a star, but I don't know if I believe that. That just sounds like
oh, you mean that yellow light in the that thing in the sky? Oh, I just thought that was
yeah, that rotates around the puck.
Around that
very flat Earth.
Yeah.
It's 6,000 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
I used to deal with young Earth creationists all the fucking time. I stopped that shit though.
Jeez.
Please press play. Oh god! Yay! We did it. We did it.
Hey,
guys.
thanks for
We
watching.
survived.
Please like and subscribe.
So, was anyone?
Oh my god!
Convinced?
No, I was not convinced. I'm sorry.
Let me throw the banner up.
It's like, well, you see, the Spartans had slaves. I'm like, yes, we know the Spartans had slaves. It's just the question
honestly, was there any other point that he legitimately made? I feel like that was pretty much the crux of his argument.
The point he made is that brown people are the reason why.
Well, no, they also said like they hated democracy. That was they were like.
But that still doesn't make the Persians good guys.
It doesn't.
No, not in the context of 300. Not in the context of 300 or even the Battle of Thermopylae, because they were the invading force.
So, oh jeez. Yeah, Persian's bad no matter what.
Now we get to this one.
Yeah,
this is
yeah, let's so you guys like Predator?
I love Predator.
Predator's
it's one of my favorite films.
You made a video about Predators.
Yeah, I reviewed The Predator. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, and I wish it never existed.
But don't
It's
you just love what it did to the canon, to the lore?
Yeah.
the
Oh
universe?
yeah. I love how they made an honor-bound hunting society not above murdering a child,
Yep.
even though that directly contradicts, like yeah. The predator, the predator and Predator 2 should have just killed the pregnant lady. You know, it's like, who cares? There's a child there.
But they need the Aspergers.
Yeah,
Oh my
so they can
God.
survive global warming.
Like autism makes you understand alien technology that is eons ahead of ours. So
Mhm.
I guess.
All right,
Oh my
let's throw down the banner. Here we go. Oh, geez.
That's
6 ways Predator is really a terrible hunter.
Okay,
no.
hold on. Place your bets now. How many out of the 6 are going to be even slightly reasonable?
None of them.
None of them. I've actually seen this video before, but I won't spoil it.
Oh God.
Okay, all right.
Movie hunters.
I was gonna go with 1. I was gonna say maybe they get close to making a point.
I was gonna say they're almost honor bound to the point of being a little stupid. I stubbed my toe. I better
Yeah.
blow myself up.
The thing is like they're not above retreating. It's just that if they cannot retreat and it is like they are beaten and there's no way of getting out and trying again, they will blow themselves up.
Right.
Don't always get the greatest representation. The hunters in Bambi are dangerous lunatics who burn down the entire forest. That guy in Jumanji is a big shithead. The hound's owner won't let him be friends with the fox. And then there's Predator, the big game hunter from outer space who comes to planet Earth for one reason and one reason only: to stalk the most dangerous game, Danny Glover. And sure, Predator looks awesome.
Hold on. What do you... Okay. I guess we're saying just Predator 2 when fucking the original
I was gonna say
motherfucker...
they kind of jumped right into Predator 2, and
Why not? Like here's the thing, I love Predator 2, but
But it's not the best example of Predator. The best example
No.
is, of course, the fucking original.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Although I do like the battle between the Predator and Danny Glover. I do like that because it was like an endurance.
I was going to
round,
say there was more
basically.
back and
Right.
forth with that one as opposed to Arnold, who kept getting
Yeah.
his shit kicked in once it was a straight up fight.
Yeah,
I think the reason it feels odd is because it feels disingenuous coming from them, and it kind of feels like they're trying to use this to set up a cheap shot and seem like they're making more of a substantial argument than they actually are.
Right.
They
Yeah.
probably view Predator 2 as low-hanging fruit compared to the original.
And meanwhile, Predator 2 is actually still pretty fucking good. It's not
Yeah,
as good
it
as the
is.
original, but it's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah. As far as sequels go, it's solid. It doesn't fuck anything up, and it actually adds to the universe.
Yeah, and then also
You know?
helps create one of the awesomest not movie franchises, just fictional
Extended
franchises
universe.
of all time.
Yeah, the extended AVP universe, not the films, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, if they made the AVP film of my dreams where it's the colonial marines fucking fighting predators and aliens, I'd be like, yeah, this is what I wanted this whole time.
And he's responsible for one of the best action movies ever made, as well as one or two of the worst. But when you really think about it, Predator is a terrible hunter. He's essentially the integral.
Okay, hold on.
I wouldn't call the AVP. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the idea that fucking the predator is a bad hunter. It's not. It's just very predators are very honor bound. Like they're not terrible hunters. They just they're ready to fuck shit up. That's their whole point.
They live life on perpetual hard mode.
Yeah. And all they want is
they're basically
more,
like
more.
Soulsborne players.
Yeah. Except in
They're
real
just-
life. Yeah.
Right.
The heart, one of the to even become a young blood in the Ouija Society, is to fight this really giant, scary looking monster thing and kill it. That's just becoming a young blood. And then to become a blooded, you need to kill xenomorphs, and it just gets progressively harder and harder.
Yeah.
And this is over several hundred years, by the way.
Yeah, because they live a long ass time.
Yeah, thousands of years.
Galactic version of that rich dentist who shot Cecil the Lion, if you remember that thing from last year that we
No,
all really cared
no,
about.
he's not. No, they're not.
The fucking
No, they're
After
not.
Hours video said the same thing. How they were just like the rich dentists.
They're not though. Like, how are they rich dentists? They're fighting things that fight back. Cecil the Lion did not fight back.
For 2 weeks and then aggressively forgot. He has no respect for anything. He flagrantly ignores hunting laws, thumbs his nose area at hunting etiquette, and generally behaves like some douchebag who bought a bunch of expensive gear on the internet and can't wait to kill something with it. Particularly the one in Predator 2. That guy doesn't give a fig about anything.
So, this is the thing about this video is that it's supposed to be humorous, but it fails at it miserably.
Yeah. Also, hunting laws. It doesn't need to get like any of that shit because it has its own hunting laws. The laws of
Yeah.
Predator's fucking society, you dickhead.
Yeah. Any like there's no children, no sick, no elderly, nothing that if it doesn't have a weapon or can't fight back, it's off limits. And if you break that code, it is either exile or most likely death.
You don't fuck with Predator society. Like
yeah.
they're so fucking honor bound and awesome. And when one of them is killed by a human, they see all that. They're just like, here's a weapon, a flintlock pistol from 1700s.
By the way, I actually read that short story in the
that comic is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's short, it's nice. You have a really cool ending where it's like he gives him his sword, and while he takes his pistol. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Now, we know Predator follows some standard hunting rules. He abstains from killing a police officer because his X-ray predator vision tells him that she's pregnant, and he ultimately declines to kill a child, although really the only thing that saves that kid is the fact that he's holding a plastic gun. But the rest of the time, the Predator is the science.
Oh yeah, if that
Why
Predator
would
was,
you
if
make
that was a child's
assumption?
Well, it's because it was like if that was a real gun, I think the Predator totally would have killed that kid. Because
I don't think he would have killed the kid. I think he would have just like taken the gun away.
Yeah, he to me, I always got the vibe that the Predator was able to detect that the kid wasn't a threat.
Yeah.
Like he's basically standing there, like trembling, essentially shitting himself in fear. I feel like a Predator would be able to pick up on that.
Well, I was actually about to say that scene is really goofy because when I was rewatching it with my girlfriend, this kid he wasn't trembling or any of this stuff. He just want some candy? Like he was just like fucking, like as if like what was happening was just so normal and it's just like, kid,
yeah,
that's a monster in front of you that just aimed its laser gun at you. Why are you not running back to your parents?
I always took it as kind of that sort of bargaining, you know, like in the stages of grief. Yeah, basically he's like, please don't kill me.
You want some candy?
I'm not a threat to you. I'm your ally. Here, have some candy.
Yeah. And
because
even
to
then,
a kid, that's like, you know, I'm giving you my most prized possession.
Candy.
And even then, and even then, like, I mean, this is like a lot of more or less in the extended universe. Predators can dodge bullets.
Mm-hmm.
The films don't really go into that too much.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the thing is, like with like novels and comics, you're not limited by physical, by the actual laws.
Right.
I mean, we kind of got that with the scene where they're just spraying into the forest. All they did was nick him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Science fiction monster equivalent of a guy with a shotgun asking you to hold his beer. That mask is probably their version of a trucker hat. He has an incredible advantage.
It's their breathing apparatus, you fuck.
Well, okay, so first off, why are you lumping in berserkers with the classic Yaojua? They operate totally differently.
Because he's not going to make that fucking distinction. We will. Like, he won't go there.
Yeah, like the berserkers are like they're an entirely different subspecies of Yaojua.
Yeah, they don't obey the rules. They basically just went like.
Well, they don't. They obey their own rules. They probably have their own rules and their own like version of what the hunt is and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage, all right? Like he's invisible. He's got a targeting laser gun. Even if he's hunting illegally, which he almost certainly is, he should never.
Retard. There's a difference.
Why is he getting so hung up on the whole concept of hunting illegally? even if you wanted to take that route, our laws wouldn't apply to a fucking extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
No, they would not. And and you know, here's the thing: he's perfectly legal in his own society.
Yeah. As far as his code of honor goes, he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing where like this is supposed to be like a humorous joke video, but like the way this guy delivers it is like it's
It's just
like
complete shit.
yeah, it's like so dry, like there's barely any sense of sarcasm or like he's delivering it relatively straight, which that might try to be the point, but get somebody funny to do that.
That
And
would
by the way,
imply-
this title is so fucking clickbait.
Oh
too,
yeah, it
so.
is.
I thought YouTube had a policy against clickbait titles.
Nah, bruh.
Never get killed by what he's hunting, but he climbs down out of his tree stand to fucking punch Arnold to death. That's like someone going on a duck hunt and then wading out into the pond to
Okay, first, that
Yeah,
because he believes Arnold is fucking worthy of like having his skull and his spine ripped out, and the Predator wants to
Yeah.
savor that. He's like, all right, new trophy. Fuck yeah. All right.
Arnold proved himself that he is worthy of a
He
quote
disabled
unquote
it-
as fair of a fight as the Yajua can make it.
Yeah, he disabled his cloak. He took out his shoulder cannon. He's like, all right, yeah, fuck it.
We'll
I'm
do
go-
this. We'll do this like real men.
Yeah, even though I would say, oh god, have you ever heard of a film called Jiu-Jitsu?
No, I have not.
It is basically Predator mixed with Mortal Kombat, and
Oh boy.
the funniest thing about it is like the idea that this alien taught us jujitsu so that it could fight fair, and it's just like,
Yeah, he literally comes back like every, what was it, like 5,000 years or some shit, or
Yeah,
500 years. He
to
comes
fight his
back to fight
champions.
people.
But like the thing is, he's still using his cloak. He's still using his armor. He's using his fucking weapons. The entire like, oh, you're just a predator that fucking cheats half the time. You're your own like bloated version of fair.
If you're a fan of Predator, you'll get so many laughs out of it because it's basically just like Predator meets Mortal Kombat, and it's worse than both. But it's like hilariously bad.
But it's got Nick
Oh,
Cage,
wow.
man. It's got Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It's funny bad. Like it's hilarious to watch, but just know what you're going in for.
Like a line that we repeat around here all the time is like, he's a warrior poet in a sci-fi sense. Spaceman.
Yeah, he literally is like he's the warrior poet in a sci-fi sense. The spaceman, if you will. And it's like, what?
Wears paper hats. Oh, don't fight
weird,
on my
dude.
piano.
Yeah.
We just basically kept
It's
making
Nick
jokes.
Cage being Nick Cage. Like he's not even acting at all, and it's great.
Yeah, we made jokes that this was just him being at therapy, and they didn't even know. He didn't even know the cameras were on.
Oh God.
He just like showed up in his PJs one day and was like, "Hey, what's up?"
It's scraping at the door. It's scraping at the door.
Oh my god.
choke a mallard. Let's look at everything Predator does wrong. First of all, he's not wearing a blaze orange vest, which is always dangerous. I mean, you're
Stop!
How is that a fucking joke? Like, wow. That makes him a horrible hunter because he doesn't follow human laws. Are you mentally retarded? And I mean that in the literal medical sense.
God, it's a joke. Stop taking it seriously.
You know, Ninja, you know that thing I wanted to do when I met Sawyer, which is where I basically grabbed him, threw him against the wall, and just going, why? That's what I want to do to this guy. Just like, why are you so shit? Why are you so not funny?
What pisses me off is
funny.
these fuckers have gotten paid for this. They've made
They
a
were
career
paid,
out
you
of
know,
this.
They were paid real, literal, actual currency that can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah.
And they probably made a lot of it too. Before Cracked went defunct for like a good year and a half.
Yeah, I feel that you probably work hard on videos and maybe you could do better, but you always try your best. And then you look at low effort shit like this, and you see to over 2 million subscribers. Why even bother?
That's why the Young Defiant thing will always piss me off. How do you have 20,000 when all you do is insult people?
That's why Cosmonaut Variety Hour, I have such a disdain for him, is because his videos are so fucking garbage, but yet they're so liked and he has so many subscribers. It's like, I just, you are the shittiest video
It's
essayist
weird.
on YouTube.
It's weird when he's got points that I agree with, but at the same time, I'm also just like, how did you also at the same time miss the fucking mark? I
Well,
don't
no,
get it.
it's fine. I mean, with as many videos as he releases, I mean, it's like they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Uh-huh.
Just the law of probability is he's bound to say something that you're kind of like, yeah, I can more or less agree with that.
I found
Yeah, but then
I
you-
found the Good
then you-
Burger video entertaining, but I think that's just because since they went off in their own fucking world, that's like, okay, by this point I'm willing
Yeah,
to
they weren't
solve-
actually saying anything about the film. They were just off on some fucking tangent.
Yeah, about Ed being like an elder god and shit. It's just so
Oh,
yeah, they
welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
yeah, they went fucking off on that film, and it's just like, what the hell? So just following along with, I saw you in the Old Testament, the original traitor. It's just like, that's when it becomes entertaining. But if you actually listen to like his points on things like, oh, I don't know, let's say Last of Us 2, he kind of goes off into his own little world, and you're just like, oh, you're not very good at this, are you?
Dude, you're really shit. You're really, really shit.
But in terms of like a good Cosmonaut Variety Hour, I'd recommend his Warhammer video. But that's only because he's like talking about like getting into the hobby. And
Oh,
like,
so he's not actually reviewing stuff. He's okay.
yeah, he's just like, hey, and he was talking about like kit bashing and all that stuff. It's pretty neat. You guys should take a look at it.
Yeah, even when he made a video that I actually agreed with, because he said Superbad was one of his favorite teen comedies of all time. Even his reasonings were really shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like when he was criticizing the prequels and he said Count Dooku is the worst character in the history of Star Wars. And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, and they said like Yoda was awful because like a Jedi doesn't like fucking fight battles or something, and it's just like, have you seen these movies?
Guys, it's character assassination that Yoda actually, fights with his sword that he's probably had for hundreds of years.
I mean, I kind of get it. It's like for the messaging.
No. He had a lightsaber custom made for him because he never uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jedi, the Jedi train in various forms of lightsaber combat.
Right.
They never use them.
I was going to say like the criticism like Yoda having a lightsaber. Okay, like I kind of get it because he was all about the Force and stuff. So we always thought like he was beyond having a lightsaber.
Even then, even if a Jedi is shown to be a powerful Force wielder, we have always been shown that a Jedi and his weapon, it's like a sacred part of the journey. And
yeah, it's part of their. That's part of it. It's like they have lightsabers.
I was saying more from the perspective of the boomer Star Wars fans, like the people who only think the original trilogy is like the only stuff that exists and won't even acknowledge.
But even Yoda said how sacred lightsabers were, and that it was an important part of Luke's training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Yoda was ever like, lightsabers are for pussies.
Oh, fuck off with the still
where people get that, where people get that thing, it doesn't just make sense. It's like, okay.
The times we see Yoda uses lightsaber in the films, it's like that's when he was like, oh, okay, Dooku and me and Dooku are kind of equal in the Force, so let's just use the lightsaber. And then like with Palpatine, it was a mixture of both.
So powerful you are, why leave? Okay. back to predatortisms. I'm so fucking angry right now.
You're really taking your safety in your own hands with that one, big guy. Secondly, Predator spends a lot of time hunting at night.
Oh my god, is this really gonna be the whole video? How he's just like, he's not following Earth rules?
Yes, he is.
Many states
Can we do I don't know, literally anything else. Like this, if this is this whole argument from beginning to end,
It
this
is.
whole thing feels like a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's
I
literally
mean, you might as well
going.
just let him play and not even stop it. You know, just like don't even pause because it's just going to be more garbage.
Oh yeah, it's basically he
Uh,
applies human hunting laws to Yaojua, and the
I
whole that's
thought
the
he
whole,
was at least going to make the kind of arguments that they brought up during that video we were watching last night, the After Hours one. Like,
Yeah.
granted, not all of those arguments were great either, but at least they kind of sort of tried to make a few points.
No,
mhm.
it's basically going to be applying human hunting laws to
Well, yes, if you I don't remember the exact quote, but there's a pretty famous one by like, if you judge a fish on its ability to fly, then of course it's going to think it's a failure. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like if you're comparing a bird and a fish and you go, well, fish, man, you can't fucking fly, so you must be a piece of shit. It's like that's basically what he's doing. He's saying, well,
Yeah.
because this predator doesn't follow a human hunting law, it's a horrible human hunter. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's a really great alien hunter.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that is the entirety of the video. That literally is it.
All right,
Ugh,
let's.
fuck it.
So-
Let him play. Just let him
I'll let
go.
him play,
There's just
and
no
then I'll
point.
see if I can find another fucking video.
We could do the Cinema Wins King of the Monsters video if that's not too long.
Oh, I know.
We could try it. I mean, we'll have to see how long it is, I guess.
It's 21
It's like 20
minutes.
some minutes. Like yeah, 21 minutes if that's not too long.
Mhm.
I guess it depends on how fast we go through it, but we can probably make it. We're cranking through these ones a lot faster than we expected.
Oh yeah,
Hold
because
on.
it's cracked. It's cracked.
Hold on,
That's
is there
why.
a Cinema
So.
Sins
That
on
used to
Predator?
that used to mean something back in the day. I know it was many, many, many moons ago, but it used to have relevance.
God.
See, back in my day, cracked didn't used to be filled with a bunch of boring faggots. They were actually funny.
Well, they didn't used to be so like PC, fucking I don't know, just
Oh,
ugh.
perfect. Fucking
What? Did you
perfect.
Did you find something?
No, Cinema Sins Everything Wrong with Predator in 13 minutes. That should be fucking entertaining.
Yeah, we could do
They allow
that
you to
one.
hunt
We could do that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna try not to pause as much now, because since this is just a big old nothing burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well just kind of let him
Well,
play.
the problem
Yeah.
is like since like video's playing in, like we're gonna have to just communicate. Like we can't just let a whole like 5 minutes go by with just us not saying anything.
Oh, we can
Yeah.
say things. I'm just saying that it's not even worth the
Yeah.
Effort.
pause, I guess. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Specific types of game at night, namely nocturnal animals or predators like coyotes and bobcats, and then only during specific times of the year. Some states prohibit it altogether, and night vision goggles are generally only allowed with several restrictions, if not outright illegal. So predators
It's
running
not
around
night
hunting
vision, you
non-fur
fucking retard.
Yeah, it's thermal
It's
vision.
thermal, it's light, and then you have the xenomorph vision, and then in the games you have, and Concrete Jungle, you have technology vision and neural vision.
Oh god, don't get me started on technology vision. So what, if we put wires in a railing, does that suddenly become technology? Jesus Christ.
Be quiet. How dare you? Concrete Jungle is how dare you? How fucking dare you, good sir?
I feel like I'm under attack now. He's just
How dare you, good sir? Concrete Jungle just has a really tismy camera, okay?
Surgeon's holding up a both saws. I'm like over like right. I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna fucking do this. No, nothing's wrong with Concrete Jungle. It's just there's a lot of things to like kind of poke fun at it in a playful
I know.
way.
There are things that you can poke fun at it, but it's like it's if it had a good camera, the game would be like a solid gameplay wise 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it seems fine. I only watched the best friends play it.
I have played it a little bit here and there. I am trying to get through it.
Was it ever on the PS2? Because I might be able to.
Yeah, it's on PS2. I actually have it for PS2.
All right, I'll throw it in the emulator and give it a shot then.
Yeah.
bearing
Yeah, the camera is the worst part.
nocturnal mammals at
But-
night with night vision goggles. There is no way he's
That's
not drunk.
thermal vision, retard.
Yeah.
Thermal vision.
Oh, he's not eating his kills. What?
Because because they trophy hunt.
Yeah.
Press play. I think he
hold
covers
on.
trophy.
Remember fucking in the Predator? That's not a predator. That's a sports hunter. Oh, we called it predator.
No,
Predator's
no.
cooler. Fuck yeah.
If here's the thing, I actually put the definition of predator in my video. I believe it was something like a creature that preys upon another creature.
Yeah.
That is a predator.
It's so fucking dumb.
He's also clearly not eating what he's killing. Pure trophy hunting, believe it or not, is frowned on by most serious hunters, and you're generally supposed to eat what you kill.
Unless
I mean,
you're
he
Yauja,
might be
when your
eating
entire
Shane
culture revolves around
Yeah,
it.
unless you're a fucking
whatever.
alien.
Black or Jesse Ventura, but we know
This is cringe. This is cringe comedy.
It really is.
Arnold
like,
is just
it
us if like the dog tags were our phones. Just like we're just like, what the fuck is like the cracked videos on the phone? Just like, the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
know for a fact he doesn't eat Dylan's man Hopper, because they find Hopper and his entire crew skinned and hanging from some random tree in the middle of the jungle. That's not something an outdoor sportsman does. That's
Intimidation tactic.
something a maniac does. Speaking of which, Predator is almost certainly harvesting more than the daily bag limit, which refers to how many animals you can kill in a single day. There's also a possession limit, which is how many animals you're allowed to have on you in transit or in the field. A few states have no bag limit, but many limit you to 1 or 2 animals per day for larger game, and as few as 3 per season. Predator kills way more than that. He takes out 3
No
seasons.
shit, Sherlock. It's almost like never.
It's almost like he doesn't follow our laws. Okay. Yeah.
Worth of mercenaries in a weekend. He kills a dozen drug lords in an afternoon.
That's a different Predator.
Yeah, I think it's like, well, he kills a bunch of drug lords. I'm like, okay, yeah. So that's actually he did the city a service. So what?
Wasn't there a joke in Predator 2 where it's like maybe we should have hired him on?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like a redneck bombing around the forest on an ATV, spotlighting deer and shooting them in the face, which is another thing that's considered unsportsmanlike. Hunters generally don't shoot things in the head because that's the trophy part. We know for a fact that Predator has at least one skull with a gaping bullet cave in it. So
he does that one
Well,
time.
And not to mention, who's to say that other parts of the kill can't be considered
Also-
trophies?
Also,
Not
Spines
everybody
certainly
saves
are.
the skulls.
hold
Spines
on.
certainly are.
Hold on. So the Predator, the Jungle Hunter, does it twice. He shoots Mac in the head, and then he shoots the one that gets hit by the log. He gets side tapped in the head to just basically kind of put him out of his misery.
Okay, all right.
So he's not above shooting them in the head. Like, it's not the problem. As long as
And
he
here's
can.
the thing, like he does it 2 out of how many times? So it's like,
In fact, he was super proud of fucking Billy because he was just like, Billy wanted to just fight him with a big ass fucking knife. It's like, oh yeah, your spine. I'm gonna hang that on my fucking wall. It's like,
yeah, they take the spines and the skulls. So
yeah, when
there's
my
that.
friends come over, they're gonna be like, dude, whose spine is that? It's like, dude, I was in like South America on Earth, and fucking as I was hunting him and his friends, this guy just stops, takes off all his shit, pulls out a big ass knife and scratches his chest, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta fight that guy 1-on-1. So I ripped him into pieces. That's fucking spine.
imagine going over to
boy.
your cousin's house and having him show you the mounted deer head on his wall. Only half of the deer's face is just naked, shattered bone because he blasted it in the eye with a shotgun. Regardless.
For the record, I'm pretty sure those people exist.
They do exist.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do exist, and it's not a shotgun. It's a bolt of plasma. But that's neither here nor there.
Also, those kinds of people, I don't make fun of them, but I do find them a bit entertaining. Hey, take a look at this. Half the face is missing. Did you fucking just shoot it in the face with the shotgun?
I mean, obviously, like, it's better or it shows more skill if you can kill it in a way that doesn't damage the head, but it's still, doesn't make it immediately worthless.
Right.
No. Like, and a lot of times with deer, it's more or less the antlers than like the actual skull.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And even then, it's the antlers, so you can make something out of it.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about
Like a sick knife handle.
Oh yeah.
hunting, that's f***ing ghoulish. You generally try not to riddle your prey with unnecessary damage because A, you want a nice trophy, and B, you're planning on eating most of it, and picking pellets and fur out of a carcass isn't super fun. Going for a shoulder shot is standard, and even the occasional neck shot is okay because it preserves the meat.
No, the next shot
they're
is
not-
actually more favorable than anything when it comes to hunting. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
because it's like it's an instant kill pretty much.
Yeah. If anything, you can't like shooting. I think you're like the unsportsmanlike. You can't even like shoot them in like places like the liver. Like you have to like get them in fucking. You have
Center
to get
of-
them in
Pretty much the neck or the
neck or
heart
s-
usually.
Yeah,
yeah,
neck or
something
center
that
of
will put it
mass.
down almost practically instantly.
Yeah. I mean, Yaoju are very efficient. Like they kill, they're all about that. They kill like they go for the instant kill for the most part. They don't really
The
like.
guy in the chat fucking is he was gushing about Concrete Jungle. Man after your own heart, Jake.
I don't know if he can take my Pringles can, but we'll give it a shot.
Predator f***ing maims everything he catches. He's blasting limbs off, chopping things in half, and occasionally blowing his prey completely
That was a
apart.
xenomorph. That was a face hugger.
Yeah, he was preventing some throat fucking.
Yeah. By the way, that's a berserker. They operate completely differently from other Yaoju. Fuck off.
Not only are they the super predators and are like having their own little civil war, I believe these guys are like disgraced. That's what like I think I might be wiki hunting and wiki.
Well, I
picking
mean,
here.
well, they also say that like what was his name? Lawrence Fishburne killed like a few of them, and they like replenished in numbers. So it may be a disgraced clan. Of
Yeah,
even
I always got the opinion that it was like a subsect. You know, it's like same religion, but like the difference between like Christian and Catholic, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so
the berserkers are the berserkers are an entirely different subspecies.
So here's the thing: we had the 4 predators. One was the classic predator, Tracker,
Yeah.
Falconer, and Berserker.
I thought his name was Mr. Black, and the berserker was the name of the super predators.
No, they each had their own names apparently. Though I'm looking at the.
Oh yeah, they
flat
always
out-
have that.
Yeah. Let's see. The Xenopedia.
Like a meat balloon. Imagine someone hunting deer that way. You wouldn't just find them, you'd throw them in jail for all the crimes they were probably gonna commit. Unlike Tom Cruise in Minority Report, you don't need a psychic to know that a man who bagged his last deer by shooting its leg off and stabbing it in the heart is eventually gonna be responsible for a string of violent felonies.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
The logical leaps here are astounding.
I am actually like kind of like what the fuck.
Okay, so quick question. What if he's like stranded in the middle of the wilderness, has one shot with a shotgun, and then he blasts the deer's leg off, but he can't finish it, so he has to stab it to death with its bony leg to kill it and put it out of its misery?
Okay, with the bony leg is a bit much. This is like he'd probably just use his knife.
I
What
guess
if he doesn't have? What if he doesn't have a knife? Okay,
And that's a weird. That's a weird hunter.
I keep thinking of the scene from Office Space where the guy literally designs a jump to conclusions mat. It's
Right,
like, you know, so a physical representation of the mental leap that you're having to do. It's like, that's exactly what this is.
oh boy.
Predator also uses traps that are designed specifically to maim, which is hugely illegal. That thing that Topher Grace steps in would get Predator in serious trouble. And if
Those
it
are
were triggered by a hapless
berserkers, you retard!
Yeah, the supers.
just-
that
they're
Just,
don't
just let him go.
care.
Just let him go. We're under 2 minutes. Just let him go. We can still yell and scream because he's still
can't.
stupid, but
I can't! They're berserkers, they operate differently, you...
nope, to him, they're all the same thing. They're all predators. That's all he knows.
Well, then he's a fucking racist.
I agree. But, you know, that's just, he doesn't understand.
These
Also,
super-
don't you understand that all cultures are beautiful?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Even the predator culture is beautiful.
Actually, it is.
I mean, I'd argue the predator culture is more civilized than like Saudi Arabia, but that's just
Okay.
fellow Predator, now he's opened himself up to criminal negligence. Also, the net gun that Predator uses slices into people's skin, but doesn't appear to be fatal. So unless he feels like losing his license, that's gonna have to stay on the spaceship. Predator is also using
It absolutely can be fatal.
Illegal use of bait.
It chops you to bits.
That's the berserkers. That's the berserkers. That's the berserkers.
Well, that was from Predator 2. That's a
No,
that
that's
was
Danny
No,
Trejo.
the illegal use
Oh.
of bait.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the net gun.
Oh no,
still.
the net gun's like heavily featured in a lot of Predator media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I thought a regular Predator isn't above using bait. That's what the whole mimicry thing is for.
Well, no, I mean, sure, like they'll like mimic the voice, like
but
a
they'll
duck
never
call,
throw
but,
out like actual physical bait.
I don't think so. There's probably like some references in like comics or books of them doing it, but to my knowledge, I don't think I've seen it happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal bait. He uses a call that mimics people's voices. Basically, he
Yeah,
records them and plays
it
them.
kind of reminded me of the scene from Full Metal Jacket where the sniper uses
Yeah.
8-Ball and Doc J as bait.
Yeah.
So like I get where they're coming from with the idea, but it would definitely fall under like the dishonorable category.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
Back. Many states don't allow electronic game calls of any kind because it's kind of cheating, isn't it? Also, we see that predators are not above using a dead body
No,
as a
it's not.
decoy.
It's not cheating. Fuck off. What is
That-
what is the difference between like taking like the
What's a
like,
duck
the
call? A fucking duck
Yeah.
call is what brings duck to the fucking lake.
Yeah. A duck
The
call. Don't they
hell?
also have like elk call as well?
I
Like,
don't
for
know.
Elk.
Well, yeah, and the whole point of bait, boils down to one of two things. Either you're basically telling them, "Hey, there's food," or "Hey, there's pussy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come get it."
Yeah, come get it. I'm right. I'm hot. Come get me with that fucking cock.
Yeah, and then you shoot it.
Either way, you're tricking the animal to come to your location.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez stated that these guys were bad bloods. So even then, they were
Okay.
considered like the worst of the
So
worst.
like the whole clan itself was bad bloods essentially, not just those three.
No, just those three were bad bloods. They were bad bloods of the fucking.
Well,
Super
how
Predator
could
clan.
just those three be bad bloods when it was established that there have been multiple individuals that Lawrence Fishburne himself has killed?
I need to look through the movie again.
Yeah.
When they pose an improbably deceased Danny Trejo in the jungle to fool his comrades. Now, in Canada and some US states, it's illegal to decoy with dead animals, specifically birds. Meaning you can't prop a dead bird up and then use a bird call to try and lure more birds because you're supposed to be a hunter, not a serial killer. You're gonna get smacked with a big fat fine of whatever they use for money.
Hey, fun fact. Did you know that snapping turtles' tongues resemble that of worms to attract fish into its mouth? So fuck off.
Well, we're above
That
that
is-
stuff. That's the problem. We have to
Yeah,
follow
man.
these rules.
We don't need Mother Nature's help, to be the supreme hunters. We have the ultimate advantage: opposable thumbs, motherfucker.
Opposable thumbs, like we can stand upright because of our brains are so big, and like we figured out tools.
Look, bipedalism didn't help the non-avian dinosaurs, okay? And thumbs? Are you trying to say that a raccoon is somehow smarter than me?
I mean,
Well,
possibly. I've met some pretty smart fucking trash pandas.
I was going to say you in
that's
particular,
fair.
possibly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I am not that smart.
They've outsmarted me a time or two, so shit happens, man.
I've never seen a raccoon like ever. Like I know they exist, but I've never seen one. I'm like,
How have you never seen a raccoon?
like
I think he just means like in real life.
Yeah, like in person.
Yeah, that's what
I've
I
never
mean.
seen-
How have you never seen a raccoon in real life? I've seen
We
raccoons.
take
in
care
real
of our
life. I've-
garbage. We
Well,
like,
have you-
Wow, what are you insinuating?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a possum in real life?
Nope. And that's weird because
Also,
I've been
I'm
in the
enjoying the
woods.
fact that this random tangent is more entertaining than the video. Carry on.
I actually, when I was driving home from work one day, I saw a possum eating. I think it was like a dead snake in the middle of the road, and I just sat there and let it. Well, here's the thing: possums like are really chill, and they can't get rabies because their body temperature is too low, and they're really neat animals.
Yeah, they're very useful for the environment. They get rid of a lot of pests that do spread disease and things like ticks and certain bugs.
Yeah.
I've never like I don't want to say like you guys like don't clean up your garbage. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what brings a raccoon because I guess
It's well, part of it is you live in the desert. You're not going to run into a lot of them in the desert.
I
They're
lived
more
in
of a
Cal-
Midwestern
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I lived in
Yeah.
California and I spent like 22 years in Kansas City. So it's like I guess because I was technically in the city, that wouldn't have
You can
gotten
still
them.
get some of them in the city, but they're a little rare. There needs to be a little bit of like,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I spent
environment
a lot of
around.
time with my grandma and grandpa as a kid, and they have like a house out in like more like rural, not rural areas, but more like in the country area where there's a lot of more open forest.
Right.
And my dad lived in that area too, and I used to see raccoons and whatnot. Another random story about like animals. There was one time when a skunk fell into one of the window wells at my house,
Oh.
and it
That
was
would
like,
suck.
yeah. Actually, like a mole got caught in the window well. A baby bird got caught in the window well and it couldn't fly out.
Oh, that's sad.
A bunch of frogs would get caught in the window wells, and I tried to save them.
Probably the real reason predators visit Earth
All right,
throughout
we're watching
history.
the
They're
video.
so buried in space finds they can only manage to put together a hunting trip once every century. The weekend when they got that flintlock pistol must have been a goddamn horror show. Even when the predators are hunting on their own
Actually,
preserve,
no.
things are
When that guy got the flintlock pistol, it was actually really cool.
Yeah, it was.
No, like-
in fact, I would have loved to see that in a movie instead of
Well,
fucking
and it was a
Alien vs.
nice
Predator.
little visual storytelling device
Yeah,
of being like, hey, these guys have been around a long fucking time.
yeah. And
But-
I especially like that little comic where it's like it's like there's a bunch of people that are coming after I forget his name.
Raphael,
like-
Raphael, fucking, oh damn it! Hold on, I'll just look
Yeah.
it up.
But like it's like all right, we'll fight these guys off together, and then once they're all dead, it's like all right, let's go. They're gonna
But
duke it
then-
out like men.
But
men.
then the fucking mutineer just fucking Raphael Adeline.
Oh, okay.
They fought for like a split second before one of his mutineer crewmates fucking shoots him, robbing the predator of such an awesome fight, and he kills him. He's like, all right, you've earned my respect. And he took his fucking pistol and gave him his sword.
He bury him too.
Yes, he did. He considered him like worthy to the point. It's
Worthy.
just like I'm like, okay, because this was robbed.
Yeah,
just
that
gonna fucking-
that right there, I like that kind of breathes a little manly tear to my eye.
Also, they have no idea how game preserves work. I don't think the xenomorphs understand how that works because they spread like fucking flies.
Yeah,
Like
xenomorphs are
vermin.
like yeah.
clearly out of
Sorry, go ahead.
control. Okay, they built a giant pyramid full of aliens for them to hunt, and the second they get in there to flex their predator tech, they get super murdered. Picture the aforementioned dentist
Okay,
stepping
that
out
was
of
really dumb. I mean, you could argue that they were young bloods, but like, I don't know. The xenomorphs were way too overpowered in the first AVP movie, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
like those are like they overpowered the shit out of the xenomorphs because predators can take them out like that, especially once they get the
Bruh.
shoulder cannons.
Bro, Yaojua can rip through tank armor with their fucking bare hands.
Yeah,
his Jeep,
So-
drenched in $500,000 of hunting equipment, and instantly getting his head swatted off by an angry lion. That only happens when you aggressively ignore every single pamphlet they handed you on the drive out to the preserve. Predators also stock their game preserves like madmen. Generally, preserves coexist with conservation efforts. That's why they're called preserves. You hunt a certain number of animals per year while preserving the overall population.
Which is why they never use the term preserve.
I'm pretty sure they do an AVP.
No, in Predators,
And predators, they do.
The-
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
But
weird.
the preserve is the entire fucking planet. So they
Right.
they solved that by like, oh no, this planet is the preserve. So loophole.
Predators drop their game in from the goddamn sky. Anything that doesn't
No,
get
the
killed
berserkers do, you faggot.
Yeah, the super predators just fucking these bad bloods just decided, yeah, we're just gonna drop our prey here.
Bad bloods, you. Okay, I'm gonna calm down now. I'm gonna calm
killed on
down.
impact is hunted down and obliterated within like 12 hours. That's not a game preserve, that's a f***ing boneyard.
It's over. It's
That was our
over.
reaction to a fucking cracked
Guys,
video.
guys, wasn't It's so fucking funny.
Throw up the
I, f-
banner.
I feel dead inside now. I feel dead. I feel really dead now.
And all right,
Cinema Sins, yeah.
Cinema Sins. Yeah, let's fucking just do this instead. Okay. How do we rank the Predator films? We all know The Predator is the worst. Predator 1 and 2 are really good.
So for me, it goes. Actually, I think it goes like in numerical order in terms of my tier list. The first one is the best. Second one, second best. Predator is third best, and the Predator is a giant piece of shit. If we're not counting,
So if we count AVP, I almost consider them to be way worse than Predators because
they are worse.
Like as I was saying last night, I just don't see the potential of doing AVP in modern times. Just have them fight the Colonial Marines with the smart guns and the pulse rifles, and the game over, man. But I'm sure there is potential. Of the idea of like, because that was the whole idea behind Predator, was that while it had advanced technology, they were armed with like basically 80s technology.
Yeah.
So like, there could have been some potential, I guess. All right, let's do this. Oh shit! All right, let's turn the banner off.
With Tyranid Man, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October, and Predator. Even without the Last Action Hero, 13th Warrior, and Thomas Crown Affair, he should be a legend, and it's a sin that he's not. Biception. Also, pretending to be adversaries when you're really friends, measuring their dicks just for the benefit of the audience cliche.
What's the matter?
They're not.
The CIA got you pushed.
That's just male bonding.
Yeah, that's
that's called toxic masculinity, don't you know?
No, fuck off. How dare you? That's just how men bond.
Not anymore. Not enough soy.
Yeah.
Pushing too many pencils?
Are they really arm wrestling in mid-air? Have you ever tried that? It's nearly impossible. It's like Ernie saw.
Have you?
It's like art. Like, well, first off, it's Arnold and Carl Weathers in their physical prime. So, I mean, that's kind of that's like a much higher standard than what I assume you tried to do.
Months before this came out, he couldn't help himself.
Channel.
What?
So you can't convince me he even physically tried it at all.
Yeah.
That would require a second person, and well, we know that's not happening.
You can try it with yourself, I guess.
Fucking got him. 30 seconds in. God.
We got, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Let's go.
My team always works alone. You know that.
I'm afraid we all have our orders, Major.
And that f***ing works. Look, if Arnie's team lives by its rules, it turns down this job and we have no movie. So of course they have.
They're not mercenaries. They're an elite group. Like they seem to be able to pick and choose their missions. I guess I'm a little confused about
to
that.
an extent, but I mean, not entirely. They do have some requirement to those above them.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Have to accept any and all last-minute stipulations. Arnold, Apollo Creed, Jesse the Body. Man, this was kind of the Expendables before the Expendables felt the need to exist. Also, Arnie and the Body.
It was. Wait, it was really fucking good.
So why are you adding a sin?
Yeah, why are you adding a sin if that's a good thing? Also, Arnie and the Body, two future governors, together in 2 movies this year, including The Running Man. Okay.
But that's a sin, I bet. Because never mind the fact that it's like an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura became the governor of Michigan, didn't he?
No, it was Minnesota, I believe.
Minnesota. Fuck me.
Minnesota. And Arnie, of course, was California.
Yeah. I heard, like, so we all like talk about how he was the governor. I heard he actually did a really good job as governor of California.
He was decent, yeah. I heard he was decent.
future governors were together in 2 movies this year, including The Running Man. It's like 1987 was giving a terrible warning to California and Minnesota that only Elon Musk could have figured out. But he was only 16 and nobody listened. The best jungle camouflage is face makeup designed to make you
sin counter.
What does that mean?
That wasn't a sin. That wasn't a sin.
That was just nonsense.
Sometimes I just wonder if he just likes hearing the fucking ding noise, like if it's one of those Pavlov's dog scenarios at this point.
Probably.
Because he's just so used to hearing it.
look like a wrought iron fence that is halfway through being knocked over.
Who's our backup?
No such thing, old buddy.
This is getting better by the minute.
What kind of elite crew, Strike Force, Alpha Unit, Ranger, SEAL, Delta Team thing doesn't maybe sort out these details, I don't know, before the mission begins? Okay, if this is eye black to help with glare from the sun, like baseball players use, you've gone too far. If this is like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder, you've gone way too far.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'm pretty sure
how is that
you're
too
comparing
far,
it to things that aren't even out yet. Like,
okay, well, first off, the whole like like how football players put the black stuff underneath their eyes, to keep the sun out of their eyes.
Is that
You're
really what
going
that's
into
for?
you're going into a Central American jungle where there's heat and sun. You retard.
Is that really why they put the
that's
stuff on
part
their
of
eyes?
it, yeah.
Yeah,
How
that's
does
part
that
of it. Yeah, so
How does that block out the sun? It's not even like
it
it's under
absorbs
your-
it because it's black. It absorbs it because it's black.
And you got to think they're doing a hell of a lot of sweating.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of
Oh,
sweating
okay.
too. And and that's also why it's the same thing also applies to why cheetahs have like black around their eyes too. So it doesn't so the sun doesn't interfere with them, running.
Slap jawed around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former governor of the great state of Minnesota. No one will be seated during the barely
Oh
visible
no, he said the bundle of sticks word. That's a sin. He said a bad no word.
How dare he?
walking through the
Yeah,
jungle
how
portion
dare,
of the
yeah,
movie.
how
Mean
dare
anything to you?
Well, it's just another rebel patrol.
Cool. Is anyone going to mention the pirate plank behind you 50 yards up in the air? Because it's super obvious. And
Pirate plank, what the fuck?
Plank, is that like a production error?
I can't tell because I don't. Hold on. Just
I remember them bringing it up in one of the EFAPs, I think, but there was somebody that tried to say it was part of the helicopter, like it was the rotor.
like the blade.
I don't
But
think
I don't
no,
think it
like,
is.
Pirate
No, like
plank
like
film
yeah.
making. There's the walking the plank. Come on, damn it. All right, I'm just gonna. Film production.
This because it's super obvious and man-made and utterly demands you comment on it. What? Okay, so basically, I think what they're trying to say is, I think like, well, here's this man-made structure in the jungle, so you need to comment on it. When it's like, I mean, why? Why?
Yeah,
exactly?
our
I
one
mean,
person.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a flaw in and of itself. You know
Yeah,
what
I'm
I mean?
assuming with you guys that this is just part of the fucking helicopter.
Yeah, why not?
Like, I don't know.
man-made and utterly demands you comment on it. Show off. You literally landed 15 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure your water supply
By
is
the
doing
way,
just
that
fine.
the
No need
guy
to...
who plays Billy right here, I believe he was a male porn star.
Was
Yeah. So he knows how to suck some root.
Bear Grylls the local wildlife so quickly. Bird kicking.
Jim.
Because he's a survivalist, you retard.
well, he did bring up a good point. It's like you guys landed like 10 minutes ago. How are you already like needing?
Well,
fucking
maybe
water?
he was just thirsty. All right, maybe he was just thirsty.
Okay.
Knew this man.
Seems likely. Also, didn't the dog tag say
What do you mean? Seems likely. That was Jim Hopper was Dutch's best friend, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
C.E. Hopper? Maybe old
C.E.
Jim was just fun.
Hopper. Well, is that like your first initials or?
Yes.
Or is that
First and
Well,
middle
it can
with last.
depend because sometimes that can be your your rank right there.
Yeah, your rank, like maybe, yeah. But even then, Jim could have just been like a nickname. You know, like my grandfather's his first name is Arthur, but everyone calls him John because his middle name is John. So
I'm knocking back some brews somewhere, and poor Calvin Ezekiel Hopper got predatored instead.
Ain't no way for no soldier to die.
Ain't no way for anyone to die, dude. Why would any...
how is that a sin? How is that a sin?
Don't worry, guys. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Don't worry about it. It's a fucking.
Well, it's a shitty
now?
joke. It's a shitty joke, and the person who wrote it needs to be ashamed of themselves.
That was bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah.
Any small band of soldiers need this much fucking grain?
As soon as they're set.
So they can eat.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. It's better to have an excess than not enough.
Yeah, and the whole implication is that they were taking these things from the local populace, in which case you're not only going to take what you can need, you're going to take all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I hit the fuel dump.
He saw a guy chopping wood, 2 lookouts in a nest, some
They
guys
can also use the grain itself to maybe like bait out prey, like local wildlife. You know, there's a whole bunch of reasons why you would use
Yeah,
grain.
I mean,
and rice for
in
food.
most circumstances, if you have the option of having more resources, regardless of what those resources are, you're going to choose to have more.
Yeah, it's why we.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's even in fucking video games we resource hoard. What do you mean? I've got
Oh, yeah.
all the fish from that water area in Resident Evil 4, and I'm like halfway through
Oh,
the video
yeah,
game.
dude, I cannot tell you how many times I've finished a Final Fantasy game with like so many elixirs and mega elixirs because I just hoarded that shit the entire time.
Bro,
yeah.
like whenever I play a Pokemon game, I make sure to have at least 50 of each healing item, as if I can get it. At least
Right.
50, if not more.
And it's like, you know, you're never going to make a fucking dent in that, but you do it anyway just to be prepared.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And it's like, even if I have like 35 full restores, I better buy 20 more just to be safe.
Yeah, just in case. I don't want to run out somewhere.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I have all the fucking mini nukes in Fallout
As if you're
3?
going to turn the corner and go into some grass and enter like the Pokemon hellscape where suddenly your team is like outmanned. It's like, it's never going to
Yeah.
fucking happen.
Yeah.
There's even
You cross a road and now it's suddenly Pokemon by From Software, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh
Jesus.
boy. Where like there's like where like Giratina is like common. It's like, oh no.
eating and a headshot assassination, but he did not see any fuel dumps. Yes, there is one, but he doesn't know that, and neither do any of the rest of these guys. Dutch sets the truck rolling into the camp with a bomb on it, but no one ever sees him or looks back to see where the truck came from. And how convenient for him that the old-ass truck that isn't even being used as a truck anymore still has perfect alignment and continues straight into its target. Why did you guys even plan anything when you had a grenade launcher? Just fire a dozen grenades in here, sort it all out later. Jesus.
It's called the element of surprise, you faggot.
element of surprise, and also like they're
They
trying.
got rid of their power source. They got rid of their like power source, didn't they? Wasn't that car doubling for something else?
It was how it was.
Like
Yeah,
a-
it was power.
You know, like a generator. So you get rid of their generator, and then you turn it into a bomb. Which, okay, fine, fair enough. It's like, yeah, it's a bit convenient that it can do that. Fair enough. But it's like, you know, you disable their power source, you blow it up, you catch them by surprise, and then you rain down everything you have on them. You know,
Also,
cause
they
chaos and yeah.
also they saw one of the hostages get killed. There are 2 hostages, a cabinet minister and his assistant.
Yeah, they can't just blow up everybody and figure it all out later because the whole objective is to rescue the hostages.
Exactly.
And yes, there's a hostage they want
Oh, okay. So they acknowledge it. All right.
to save, but I'll be damned if anything they've done so far shows any regard for the life of that hostage. They don't even know where the hostage is.
Target's the center of the falafel!
Apparently Carl Weathers is a great ventriloquist, because I didn't see his lips move and
Yeah, ADR.
Oh, no,
It's a
yeah,
production error.
ADR. Yeah, production error. It's not, and like I actually I didn't even know that. I never even noticed it just until he pointed it out. So.
Yeah.
And
Like,
here's
that would be a legitimate sin. Like, good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you got one.
But it's not even like Last Jedi disappearing knife levels
Well,
where even
speaking of which, when he brought up the whole, oh, the truck must have perfect alignment, I mean, that's the kind of argument that we normally get shit for. It's like, oh, you're just being too logical. You're
yeah.
supposed to shut your brain off and enjoy it.
Yeah, but but it's like but with the Last Jedi knife thing, it's like even if you didn't notice the knife disappearing, Rey should still be dead because that knife is like in perfect alignment with like her back and her kidneys and like a whole bunch of vital spots.
Oh yeah, if the knife wasn't
Oh, come on, guys. These details don't affect the plot. It's only the reason why Rey is alive during that scene.
Yeah.
just that old chestnut.
Yeah, but that's like a production error that is a nitpick. It's like
Yeah,
it's an
that's a
error, but it
nitpick.
literally it does nothing to affect the plot in any way.
Yeah, it's like, I hate to say it, but this is a little nitpicky.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
Ninja's just looking at me, holding a kunai. You take that back.
You take that back.
Inch when he said that. I swear to God, no one in this scene filmed this scene on the same day. This is as good a time as any to point out that the subtitles for this movie keep switching between telling me these gorillas are speaking Spanish and Russian. Like, they aren't even trying to tell me what the English would be. They just keep saying speaking Spanish and speaking Russian. Why?
Yeah, that's
maybe because they are.
Well, I've always kind of had a problem with that with the closed captioning. It's like I'd rather know what everybody's saying in every language.
Yeah.
So the speaking foreign language actually really does bother me. Like when we're watching Batman Begins, speaks foreign language. He's speaking one of the versions of Chinese. Come on, just tell me what he's saying.
Yeah, put like subtitles underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Why even tell me the language they're speaking if I don't get to know the words? Also, why hasn't the Predator killed...
Well, they're fodder tier characters. Doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I was also going to say, like, this isn't a fault of Predator. This is a fault of whoever you were watching with their subtitles.
Yeah.
Well, even if you wanted to call it a fault of Predator, it's literally not plot relevant.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
It doesn't matter at all. What they're saying, what language they're speaking has no bearing on the rest of the film.
Yeah.
Any of these motherfuckers. He took out an entire other team of American Special Forces sent here to save the hostages. But what, the Predators don't know
maybe because they weren't engaged in an active fucking firefight.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do right now? He's a stealth hunter.
Why would he fucking care too? Like, why would he give a shit?
These Russian Spanish assholes are here? Okay, fine, let's foolishly say he was strong enough to stay upright with the kind of recoil that BFG would kick back. Still, that kind of minigun spits out up to 6,000 rounds per minute. Not only are there not nearly enough shells on the ground, but considering we see this gun firing for about 2 minutes during this butcher block bloodbath, the 12,000 rounds of ammunition alone would have weighed almost 900 pounds. Also...
Yeah, like this, so... Personally, it is a bit weird how Jesse Ventura's character carries a fucking minigun that he holds like a rifle.
Yeah, that is odd.
Like
No, it's not. This was 80s action movie.
Then hold the
fucking
minigun like a
man.
But hold the minigun like a minigun then. Predator. Fucking Terminator 2 had this idea too. Where it's like, no, even the fucking super soldier, not super soldier, the fucking machine, the Terminator is still holds the minigun like at the hip.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a bit weird, but again, it's a nitpick.
Yeah, it's a nitpick.
Type of gun is so powerful it usually needs its own dedicated power source to operate, much like my college girlfriend.
Hostages are inside!
Yeah, the screenwriter knows
Get it? He has a tiny dick.
this, maybe the director too, but this character sure as does not know this.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? I'm a who? I'm gonna go ahead and say if you take the time to deliver a lame joke to armed men before shooting them, that they will shoot you first. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
But...
Fuck.
Was that supposed to be funny?
I mean,
yes, it's a fucking joke. Move on.
Yeah.
If they're Central America,
I can't take these fucking YouTubers seriously. Cinema Wins or Cinema Sins. Like, it just says words, ding, move on before you have time to actually think about it.
I'm like tapping the funny meter to see if it's like even recognizing anything. And it's just like it hasn't moved, not a dot. I'm like, is it plugged in? Is this like IT crowd made in Britain with the stress meter?
Have
Goddamn
you
chat.
tried turning the funny meter off and then on again?
Too much racism there for me to even unpack. Send it 3 times and let's move on.
What? Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Did he
Go
skip the
back.
whole thing because it's quote unquote racist?
And before shooting them, that they will shoot you
replay it,
first.
yeah.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
But if they're Central American, I'm a goddamn Chinaman.
Too much racism there.
That's not racist. He's like he. It's like saying, yeah, if these guys are Central American, then I'm Chinese because they're not Central American. You
Right, he's
retard.
literally acknowledging the fact that there are people who speak Spanish and people who speak Russian here. The thing that you just tried to send the movie for a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's like
So
if
it's not.
you
It's not. Yeah.
fucking Last Crusade, and if you're what's the fucking line? And if you're this such, then I am Mickey Mouse. Like it was to the fucking disguise that Indy was using to get into the castle. People say like, if you're this, then I'm that. That's
Oh,
how
what is it?
unlikely.
Is it because he said Chinaman? Is it because he said Chinaman? Is that why? Fucking fragile, fucking spineless, cuckoid pieces of shit.
I always thought that's the weirdest kind of insult, only because it's like it's a very factual insult. You are
Yeah.
a man from China.
Chinese person.
Chinaman.
Yeah, you are a
And
Chinese
it's just like
person.
it's just like what?
Yeah. But there's too much racism. There's no racism. It's literally what if he said if these guys are South American, then then I'm English. Is that racist?
I mean, it's basically, if you boil it down to its like core components, it's essentially along the same lines of saying the sky is fucking blue.
Yeah.
You're just stating a fact. You're just doing it in sort of a colorful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the president, then I must be the goddamn Queen of England.
Yeah, fucking that bleh. That's what I have to say.
3 sins, guys. 3.
For me to even unpack. Send it 3 times and let's move on.
No traces. Get the men ready to move.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is my thinking face. Behold how much it appears as if I'm thinking.
Son of a bitch's dug.
What the?
Because he is thinking. He is thinking because he realized what they were sent in for. They were lied
He's
to.
connecting dots.
Yeah.
But apparently that's bad because he's not allowed to have a brain because he has muscles, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, in real life, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a smart guy.
He's the smartest man. Have you seen his fucking story? He was in the fucking
Yeah.
Austrian military. Fucking came to America. Started a fucking bodybuilder business. And then after getting like millions of dollars, then he was just like, I'm gonna fucking give acting a try.
Yeah. Like, his story is very inspirational too. Like, he could barely read and write, and then he learned that shit.
Yeah. Like
To the point of being a politician.
Yeah. Like Arnie's awesome.
That's why when oh god, you guys ever heard Bill Burr talk about Schwarzenegger and then the maid and stuff? And he was just like, yeah, after everything Schwarzenegger has done, you think like the balls on this guy, like fucking, of course he's gonna bang the maid. He fucking moved to this country,
much.
became an actor, married a Kennedy, became a politician.
But here's the thing, though, and to my understanding, he's really good to that kid that he had with her too.
Yes.
So like he owns up to his mistakes, and he's taking care of his kid. Oh my god, what a horrible person!
Damn right, he's a great man. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The day Arnold dies, I will actually I'll probably have to lock myself in like a room for like a good half a day. I'm just like, I can't. I'm in a world where the Terminator is no longer around.
Yeah, the day Arnie dies is going to be a sad day, but you could certainly argue he lived a very full and successful life.
Yes.
Dug in like an Alabama tick.
You mean Nick Saban?
My men are not expendable.
Air surveillance says.
Okay.
He values his men.
Yeah,
it was an Expendables joke, even though this movie came out like 30 fucking years before the Expendables. Don't you get it? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
This guy probably has over 1 million fucking subscribers.
Stop it! You're making
I know. Me too. I'm
All
very
of us
sad.
who like are individual content creators, we just stare at this man and we're just like, no, like YouTube had me fill out like a survey. Well, not had me. They asked me if they wanted to fill out the survey, and they were like, "How come you're not pleased with YouTube right now?" And it's one of the reasons was you value bigger channels over the fucking small ones. And they're like, "Could you explain that?" And it's like, yeah, you give people that who have already made it. You keep fucking giving them like the algorithm like big dick. When it's like they could already naturally make like a shitload of money. Like they don't need your help anymore. And people like us, where we have to like claw for even like a single person to like watch our stuff consistently. It's just so dumb.
I'm gonna say this now. Granted, some of this was because of my own failures, but it took me 8.5, 9 years to get 1,000 subs.
Yeah, it's believe me, this is the third attempt at doing a fucking YouTube channel. Now that I've got like Ninja and Slur to fucking properly do this podcast.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm like,
also the algorithm is really bad too.
No, yeah, the algorithm is really tismy. I told us, like, you give attention to people who who like already naturally have enough that they can just keep going. Give it to people like us who want to start up, like elevate everybody and like don't. There's not even a need to drag people down. Well, maybe drag him, Defiant down.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. But then, like people like CinemaSins, they don't need the attention anymore. They've already made it.
No, they don't. Yeah, they just makes me. This is why I cry when I coom. Okay.
This is why sometimes I do think like YouTube needs phases. Like, all right, your phase is complete. You're no longer gonna be like, we're no longer gonna give you all the attention. Now it's time for
Your
the next
15 minutes is up.
Yeah.
Yep.
15 minutes of fame is over. Move on to the next guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that might be pretty brutal for people who really need to get an upstart, but at the same time, they're going to be given their chance.
Yeah, they are.
And that's more than what's being done now.
Yeah. Like here's the thing, YouTube values quantity over quality.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Oh, that's right. I'm back on the Arnold being such a great person. He lets people drive his fucking tank.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, back to CinemaSins.
We got gorillas all over the place.
We never see any more gorillas the rest of the film. Just FYI.
They're potentially behind them the entire time.
Yeah.
And once the predator shows up, it's really no longer about the gorillas anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you know the predator didn't kill all the gorillas too? I mean, granted, that's maybe a bit headcanon-y, but
I would assume that they moved on to such a pace that they're not chasing them into the jungle.
Yeah.
They're more just licking their wounds at this base being destroyed. So that's why they're just we gotta just keep going, because they might be.
They're like, look what these guys did to us. You know, we need to regroup and like try and salvage what we can.
Yeah, before we go after them.
Yeah.
This guy has the stabbing sensitivity of Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. How did he expertly stab the Scorpion without stabbing any of this guy's shirt or flesh?
What the fucking... I could do that.
Yeah, I could do that too. It's not that hard.
Like, just the idea of, like, you see a bug, you're just like, okay, sit still, poke. He probably didn't even put any pressure behind that, because if a knife is really sharp, it'll just go inside the thing. No effort required. He probably...
Yeah, like fun fact, the pressure to stab a scorpion is far, far, far less than to stab a human.
Yeah, so he probably just went boop, and then like, so Carl Weathers probably still felt like something sharp touched his back. It just didn't put any pressure. It's just like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, saving your life.
Yeah, that scorpion is probably really poisonous, because as I was saying when we were watching the Mummy Returns, it's the small ones you got to worry about.
Yeah, the smaller the claws, bigger the sting.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly how many times has he done this before? I'm Sonny Landham, and this is my laughter noise. Behold how much it sounds as if I am laughing. Over a minute and 12.
Don't make
Some
fun of
people have
Billy's
really
laugh.
awkward laughs though.
Don't make
Yeah,
fun of
Billy's
Billy's
laugh
laugh.
is
It's
awesome.
fucking amazing.
Don't make fun of Billy. Don't Billy's awesome.
You leave him alone, damn it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, like I kind of I have been accused that if something is really funny, I apparently have a fake laugh, but that's only because something just punched me in the gut with laughter. So of course it just explodes out of me.
Yeah, like people's laughs are really weird.
12 seconds of Predator vision, which is basically black screen with some sporadic thermal splotches barfed up onto the image. This is
It's to
Because
show that he doesn't see like us.
Yeah, he sees in thermal vision. This is obviously thermal vision. Oh my god.
And then when it's revealed, it also reveals as he picks up the scorpion that it's not human. We see
Exactly.
his hand.
Oh my god.
basically blindness.
This is better than the cracked video, I guess. Question mark?
Longer.
It's longer, and we kind of have more content to bitch about. That's relevant.
Vaguely, yeah.
Well, at least he's not talking about how predators are breaking fucking hunting laws. That's just like, at least he's like talking about the fucking movie.
Yeah.
If you ask me. Wouldn't seeing only heat signatures and hearing only garbled audio put you at a fairly large disadvantage overall?
No.
This movie is 85% people silently walking through the woods while tense music plays. Also, don't you kind of get the sense the Predator is f***ing with them? He easily dispatched them.
He is fucking with them.
Exactly. He is. He's testing their. He's testing how they do under pressure.
Yeah, because if they fucking panic, then guess what? The Predator might even just let them live because he doesn't see them as worthy anymore. He's like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The team sent before them. He's been watching them since they arrived, but instead of laser-offing these killmongers, he's just watching them march through the jungle. He's like a horror movie ghost, f***ing around for a while, instead of just immediately killing the ones needing killing.
I guess it's nothing major.
Well, oh
It's
wow,
nothing-
it's almost like he's a hunter and he's trying to gauge his prey and see what they're good and bad at, so exploit their weaknesses. Fucking smooth-brained.
Comma major? Or it's nothing major. Laziest escape attempt ever, basically. She might as well have blown air on the guy or tickled him.
What? You got hit in the face with a
Did-
log. Regardless
Yeah,
of the fact it crumbled, because it's probably made of like styrofoam, it still fucking does something.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah.
like, I guess that would be more of a production thing.
I mean, or you could just say it was a rotting log, you know? Like, I mean, I've picked up rotting logs before and hit them against like tree branches,
Yeah, they
tree trunks.
shatters like they're made of nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'd probably still like hurt, especially if you get hit in the fucking face with one.
You guys chat for a minute. I thought I heard knocking at my door.
Oh, okay. So them big titties, them big titties are good, aren't they?
What about big titties?
They're good.
I mean, in general, yeah. I don't know which ones we're talking about specifically, but
Tall vampire mommy from.
oh yeah, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah, apparently she's like 9 feet tall, which is like.
Yep.
Like that. I look. I like tall women. Okay. Right.
I mean, death by snoo snoo is absolutely a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the true way to die. And no, that doesn't make us simps, okay? Before anyone
No,
says that.
that's just there are definitely worse ways to go out, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you could die by snoo via movie, Bob. That's pretty bad.
Ooh, yeah, that would not be good. Thanks for that mental image, by the way. Really appreciate it.
I was making my coffee, you son of a bitch!
What? What happened?
I wear wireless headphones! I heard your fucking movie, Bob. I'm gonna fucking kill you with your own bone saw! That's just it!
Oh, okay. So, movie Bob doing a striptease. Okay.
What were those?
And to hold them
What were
down.
those books? What were those books that he was using to hit on the little girls in like middle
Judy
school?
Blume?
Because he's the Judy
Oh,
Bloom books, yeah.
God. Movie
Because
Bob
that's
would be that kind of guy.
because that's how Movie Bob gets laid, man. He tricks women into doing things.
Do you think the reason why Lindsay Ellis like basically BTFO'd him is because they had a one night stand and he was so disappointing that she questioned everything in her life?
Okay, hold on. No,
I
I have a lot
mean,
more
I guess
respect
it's.
for Lindsay Ellis than that. Jesus Christ.
I
Like,
mean,
know
I
she made
certainly don't.
She's made some
I
tism
don't.
content.
Lindsay
but
Ellis is kind of a piece of shit.
How so? Like, I know she's made some tism stuff when it comes to like Disney, but she actually used to be very intelligent with like things like Game of
No,
Thrones.
here's the thing. I'm just like I'm being hyperbolic. So I don't. I think I'm pretty sure that morally speaking, she's probably a very good person. You know, I'm just being hyperbolic. I need that's one of my issues. I'm a bit too hyperbolic sometimes.
Careful, man. You'll attract the Saiyans.
I'll attract the who? The Saiyans?
Yeah, the Saiyans, man. You start being all hyperbolic, they're gonna show up and think it's time to train.
Oh no. Well, I hope it's some of their Saiyan women. That'd be nice.
Those exist?
Yeah.
Fuck with you. It's all
You
good.
remember Gine, Goku's mom?
Are you done fucking around, damn it?
We have more Tism to watch. Come on.
We do. You wanted this for some reason. Still
Yeah,
trying to figure it out.
I mean, we could have done Cinema Wins, but you know we have to do Cinema Sins.
My coffee now and sitting back down. And honestly, I think Cinema Wins is worse than Cinema Sins.
Probably because Cinema Wins will sometimes like construct a a well thought out quote unquote well thought out conclusion according to him, and it's just awful.
Yeah, and like Cinema Wins genuinely thinks like if you were to like every movie falls apart if you're objective, and it's like including Lord of the Rings. But it's like no, Lord of the Rings is good because of objective film quality.
Yeah.
You're just sad. You're just a soy boy who's like really sad that your fucking movie that you really wanted to see, like Godzilla King of the Monsters, got fucking shit canned. Not shit canned. It got fucking lower fucking reviews and all that stuff. And we're all looking at Kong versus Godzilla and being like, oh, that's gonna just be shit.
But it is though.
I am excited for the Snyder cut because it's the kind of autism I live for.
I just want to see what it will be. I want to see what Zack Snyder's vision. I want to see what that will just be, because Justice League got like cut off halfway through because of his daughter dying, and then Joss Whedon. I don't want. So Joss Whedon basically was told make the film better. And since he doesn't work with dark shit, because he made Buffy God knows how long ago, so he's not used to doing that stuff anymore. So he just made it, I don't want to say like Avengers, because that's too much credit.
Yeah, he made it tonally. He made it tonally borked.
Yeah.
Great whistle by Arnold here. Let's slow that down and admire how he makes that noise without ever once even moving his lips.
You don't even need to move your lips that far to whistle, but
and even,
get it, production
it's like,
error.
It's ADR, you know? Congratulations, you nitpicked. Yay, I'm pretty sure you're proud of yourself.
Why is Predator making these clicking noises and giving away its position right before it attacks? Ah, red paint!
It's invisible, you
how the
fucking
do you know
retard.
That?
Major, you better take a look.
Like, it's
invisible.
how he talks. Jesus Christ.
And two, like, it's invisible unless you're like up close, like face to face with it. It's invisible, and it was already running towards him, and it caught him by surprise.
Look at this.
You better take a look at this cliche. Just fucking look at Arnold's outfit here. It's
She's
pristine.
covered in blood. Of course he's gonna take. Of course he's gonna take a look at her. Like, she's covered in blood. What the fuck happened? Are you okay? Did you do this?
No sign of dirt, sweat, blood, or anything else. You'd think he just spent the day watching NFL Red Zone and not, blowing up a gorilla compound after crawling in the dirt and sneaking through the jungle for a couple hours.
He took off his shirt. The shirt that would have gotten dirty during that fight. He took it off.
Yeah. Yeah. They all. Yeah, he did.
Jesus Christ. Whoops.
Oh my god.
Oh, painless is waiting.
Animal fake-out jump scares are the most annoying jump scares. This is the greatest squandering of ammo ever put to film in under a minute. Good thing all these weapons have the unlimited ammo cheat code activated on them. Otherwise...
They don't! Old
they
Painless
don't,
runs
like-
out of ammo! Arnold has to
Yeah.
reload!
Yeah.
And also,
Fucking-
the funniest thing about this scene, I don't know if you guys know this from the production, they filmed this scene because the people that they bought the ammo from when filming was over, they couldn't give it back to them, so they were just like, fuck it, I guess we'll just waste it all in the fucking forest.
Why shooting this much without a target in sight might be considered wasteful. This prisoner girl that is somehow being held
I mean,
captive
isn't the
with a couple
idea is if it's like, okay, so we know it's in this general direction. If we all fire at the same time, and we'll have a wider area,
It's
and
called
we might be able to
suppressive
get
fire.
it. Yeah, and
It's not even suppressive fire. It's literally just called firing for effect, because they don't know, they can't see what target they're specifically trying to suppress. They're just firing in that general direction because, odds of probability. If you're shooting that many bullets, you're gonna hit something.
They do tag it too.
Yeah. So it's not pointless. It's not entire. Like, is it wasteful? Yeah. Absolutely.
But this thing just killed their friend.
Yep.
So,
zip ties.
They are actively being hunted.
Yeah.
Only
this
one to see
prisoner
the
girl. Go
ahead.
Zip ties is the only one seeing the glowing alien blood on the leaf. Well, I mean,
it was
she's
a little
not
weird.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
the glowing alien
But
blood on the
yeah.
leaf. And because she's seen terrible decisions in sci-fi movies before, she's gonna touch that. I'm Bill Duke, and this is my sad face. Behold how much it appears as if I am sad.
God.
Okay, so you realize that he's a soldier, and soldiers are trained to be like emotionally fucking tough.
Yeah, you deal with that shit later. You process the grief of that later.
Yeah.
You bury it.
Yeah,
for
if
now.
If he survived and went home, I'm pretty sure he would have bawled his fucking eyes out.
Well, he does bawl his eyes out. Hold on, let's not forget the fact that when they decide to camp for the night, like Mac is fucking like talking about old times right next to his fucking corpse. Like right next to.
Yeah, he was, and yeah. So he is mourning. He's just not He's just not crying like a little bit
At this very second.
He's a man. Yeah. But guys, if you have a building fall on top of you and you're a 15-year-old, you shouldn't cry.
What? Did somebody criticize that from somebody?
Yeah, it was with the homecoming debate on E.A.R.P. I think somebody said it was either that or a video they responded to where it's like, well, yeah, Spider-Man had this 14-year-old had a building fall on top of him and he was crying and begging for help.
It's almost as if what he went through, regardless of his superpowers, was a bit fucking traumatizing for a minute.
Yeah. But, Spider-Man's never cried about anything.
Like, here's the thing. You could be, like, Superman. Oh, Nerdrotic said, like, you shouldn't cry? Or...
Yeah, Nerdrotic, I believe it was. Nerdrotic or the...
Well, then again, Nerdrotic says, like, how Spider-Man 2 is still gonna be, like, this great film. And I'm wondering, like, if he still thinks about that after Southpaw ripped that film to shreds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would still need to watch Spider-Man 2 again, but, like... I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, Slur will be joining us in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
In order to be as
Maybe we can
dexterous
get
with
his perspective on the Persian Empire then.
Yeah.
these tools and machines as possible, wouldn't you think this creature might shave down those finger claws a bit? I'm just saying, someone needs a pedicure.
Where's the girl?
The claws in Predator 2. I know that we're going to the second one, but the claws help for climbing because in Predator 2, you see that he like punches his claws into the concrete and uses them for climbing.
Damn, those things are tough.
So, yeah, and they also act as they could also be weapons too.
It's not like Wookiees
I know that
where they basically are considered like fucking savage if they use their fucking claws. I always thought that's so dumb.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I know that's supposed to be a joke, but like it's not funny.
Girl.
I could waste several minutes debating which of these fools is more to blame for the girl disappearing, but ultimately it's both of them.
He's using the trees.
Duh.
I don't know what it...
They didn't know that before, retard. Like, all they literally know is that, oh, there's this thing we can't see, and it's killed 2 of our friends. That's all they know. God.
Dun dun dun! She speaks English! But setting aside how and why she speaks English, why did she wait so long to reveal it to her captors? There's no reason for Anna to suddenly change.
She was being uncooperative until now.
Yeah, until she realized what they were dealing with, and she wants to make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, how did she learn English? I don't know, maybe... Is that really relevant or important, how she learned English?
It'd be helpful, other than the plot needed it to happen. It's not like Arnie even asked nicely. Ah, he did the old I pulled out my knife and it seems like I might kill you, but I'm actually cutting you free trick.
Well, when I was watching this with a friend, it's like, how weird would it have been if you just fucking stabbed her right in the fucking throat? It's like, no, you're not gonna help us.
It's like, nah, no, we do this the way that men do it. You fucking femoids need to get the fuck out of here.
Stabs her. Oh, jeez.
It bleeds. We can kill it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe it wasn't blood at all. Maybe she's...
But, okay, fuck off. That's actually, like, one awesome movie line. Secondly, it makes sense. If it can bleed, that means it can be hurt. If it can be hurt, it can be killed.
Yes, exactly. And if it can be hurt by weapons we have, then weapons we have can possibly kill it.
She saw alien earwax or snot. Maybe it was space gasoline powering some kind of spacesuit gizmo. My point is, jumping straight to blood was silly. Jumping from there straight to we can kill it is
they have no reason to assume that it isn't blood because they were firing bullets and shit.
Yeah.
And then like directly after they fired a bunch of bullets, they found like a trail of green stuff, a glowing green stuff. So it's like, oh, this must be blood, possibly.
Well, and they freaking heard the damn scream.
Yeah. So clearly they must have got it.
Yeah.
It's wounded is the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And certifiable. What's our old pal Pretty up to during this oh-so-exciting jungle snare-setting montage? Is there any reason for them, or us, to believe he isn't watching them lay all these traps?
He probably is, hence why it doesn't work. Like, do we not have to, like, can we all mention how this scene failed? Like, after this scene, and there's a few traps the Predator doesn't notice. He doesn't notice the
net.
He doesn't notice the net. So maybe, like, he was half paying attention, or just something or another. But he knows most of the traps. Hence why the only one he falls for is the one that is literally cut on the fucking ground. And you notice all the logs and all that stuff because it's like, oh yeah, I'm watching you because you're moving the trees. I'm in the trees. I can see that.
And the thing is, like, he's using audience knowledge to apply to characters that don't know if he's like, that don't really know where he is. Then they're like, okay, so do you want the characters to sit around with their thumbs up their ass not doing anything?
Also, he might still, like, to give the absolute benefit of the doubt, he might still be healing from the bullet. he might just be like, all right, I'm gonna rest my leg for a minute. Oh, that shit fucking hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we as humans, we stub our toe or like fucking like something smashes our fucking foot as like it just lands on it. We're like, I'm gonna be off it for like an hour or maybe so. Then I'll like, all right, put my weight on it. All right, I'm good to go again. Like
Yeah,
so,
like
we is like we don't just immediately just keep going after we've suffered harm. We either have to deal with it or just do something.
well, actually, didn't he inject it with the fluid that auto heals him?
I was always wondering if that was what that does, or if that was just painkiller.
Well, I mean, I think it became the auto heal stuff, but it might have. But this is the first film, so it might have been like disinfectant or whatever. But
Yeah.
like in later films, when they
In
inject them, when they have like the healing crystals or like.
Well, I was going to
patch,
say
it's
when
auto-
in video games it just became the let me just pull these things apart and then jab them into my body. That'll just heal me. Fucking 2010
It's also,
Predator.
I believe, in I think it's also in the second AVP movie that happens too.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Requiem because I'd love to just have my TV be off for 2 hours and Predator noises happen.
Well, I mean, Wolf was cool in it.
Yeah, I guess.
She literally went from prisoner in zip tie cuffs to speaks English now and is helping with the physical labor stuff. And
If she doesn't, she will die.
Yeah, they are being hunted. Clearly, there is something out there, and she is trying to help them. And because if she helps, they will probably help her, and thus chances of survival are higher. You fucking retard! Oh my god! How? Jesus Christ! Oh.
in 60 seconds.
You know, Rax is right. Literally anybody can be a YouTuber. Literally anyone. If lower
That
for
used to
faggots
be
exists.
that used to be such a positive fucking message. Like anyone could do it. But now we're seeing like, oh wow, anyone could do it. And you really do see how bad that could fucking be. It's like, oh.
You think he's gonna come in through here? There are tripwires on every tree for 50 yards. This is the only way in.
Okay, first of all, into what? Where you are? What makes you so certain it's after you when it spent all day watching you build all these traps and never once tried to kill you? Second of all,
it literally killed 2 of his friends. It literally killed 2 of his friends. Like Shane Black's character was killed, and it didn't even provoke the Predator at all. It just came up and killed him.
Also, the idea is it doesn't matter where they are. If they are surrounded by traps, except for one way in, then there's only one way in.
Exactly. Even if it knows where the traps are, it's like, well, there's only one way in.
you were in a jungle.
Let's
You're not on
let's
like
make things interesting.
a skinny f***ing island or peninsula. You're in a jungle. That thing could easily go around and ignore your 50-yard trees, and this dialogue is almost offensive.
El que hace trofeos de los hombres means the demon who makes trophies of man.
We just call that the Oscars.
How's that funny meter working?
I think it's broken. I'm just like fucking like just like nothing.
It's just no clicking, huh?
Like I've tapped the screen. I'm doing it. I've even brought in the tiny one. I've brought in like the little Geiger counter one. Nothing.
Dutch.
Double Dutch. Look how far out here Dutch has wandered, beyond their traps, into the middle of the supposed
Did he
battlefield.
really just seriously make that fucking joke?
And then
What
he put a
even
sin
was
counter
the
on
joke? I fucking
Double
He
Dutch.
said Dutch's name twice, and therefore it's double Dutch. Haha, get it?
No, I don't.
And it's a sin against the movie.
I think
Double
that
Dutch.
just...
What you've never played jump rope before?
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally a fucking jump rope game that children play.
Oh, I never played
Double
those.
Dutch.
I just did it for I just counted how many I would do. Oh, is that the one with the 2 ropes?
Yeah.
Yes.
That.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason, even though there were like movies about that kind of stuff,
No, I get it. It requires 3 people. You didn't have friends. I understand. You don't got to go into detail.
Well, I was also gonna say I flat out just never saw people in the school playground ever do it. It's like, huh?
It's okay. The only friend I ever had was my cat. So
it's like what? That's why the thing I was gonna say is like there were these movies about jump ropes, and I was like, huh? How come just no one ever plays on the jump ropes? Just like
field.
Why would you play on the jump rope when you have a Game Boy?
No one had a Game Boy though.
Everyone, I had a Game Boy, and everybody had a Game Boy.
I had a Game Boy, but no link cable.
Oh, you sad son of a bitch.
I know, right?
So the Predator either doesn't want to win or doesn't want to win yet, right? Sure enough, though, after all these hours spent setting obvious traps out in the open, the Predator does choose that moment to show up. Like, I think the Predator has a script credit. That's how well he knows the story beats.
Oh my god. That's... So...
If you are being hunted, it is logically accurate to assume that the hunter is going to try to kill you.
So they will
like,
go.
They're coming to you.
Yes.
That was the whole point of these traps.
Yeah, you are essentially the bait. You already know he's after you. So it is not then a contrivance when the hunter shows up.
No, it is not. Fucking.
Pretty bad, Major.
I can make it.
Leave it, right? You're fighting an alien that can blend into the forest.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
Remember when Arnie said my men are not expendable?
No, all this does is submit to me that this person is a piece of shit. And I'm really glad that they never served in the armed forces, because assholes like that are one of the main reasons I never went in. Everybody I knew that my age that was signing up just wanted the fucking sign-on bonus. They were there for the money.
They're the people that I saw that were getting in the military just wanted to kill people, and I was just like, okay, nope, I'm not joining with the psychopaths.
I mean, like, I even if I wanted to join, I can't because I have epilepsy. So.
Oh, sorry to hear that. So
they were practically throwing hookers through my window. I was very high up in the JROTC. I tested very highly on the ASVAB. They gave me a full ride scholarship to K-State, but they wanted a 12-year commitment.
Oh, fuck
and
that.
I was like 18 at the time, and I'm like, 12 years is basically a whole nother lifetime, and we were basically in the middle of the whole war on terror, and I was like, nah,
yeah,
I'm good.
You would have gotten deployed to Iraq. You would have fucking...
Yeah, probably.
Yep, but I would have gone in as an officer. After doing 4 years in college, I would have gone in as a second lieutenant.
Oh, wow.
And the entire time I was in college, I would have been making sergeant's pay.
Damn.
So they wanted me, and I was like, ugh. To be honest, a lot of it was because there was a girl that I was seeing at the time, and I was stupid. And in hindsight, the only reason I'm glad I didn't do it is because I ended up with my kids. And if I had gone in, I probably wouldn't have my children.
Yeah.
But still, the point of the matter is, what he's saying right now on the screen is incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's not how soldiers think, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
there's, if you guys ever watch the YouTube channel like Mike Burnfire or whatever it's called, where they basically just play Fallout multiplayer.
No.
There's like campfire stories that they do, and they were talking about how he was like an basically a small arms repairman, and he had to clear a Bradley, and he learned the whole story behind this Bradley and how like it was part of a convoy and it kept getting hit with IEDs, and eventually the crew left the driver while he was unconscious, and the convoy just left him, disobeying like what he said was like one of the first rules of the Soldier's Creed: never leave a fallen brother. And it was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, no, that's something that's been taken really fucking seriously for a very long time.
Yeah, don't never leave a man behind. We don't fucking do that shit.
And from a pure film perspective, it makes absolutely no sense, because Dutch literally said his men are not expendable.
Yeah, even if you don't take all of that meta knowledge into account.
That's
he has already established in the film that he cares about his men.
Is this like the brown table? If I had lasers, that guy would be dead. Like where we show like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
you just
mean,
revealed you're
it's
a
pretty
psychopath.
much up there. Yeah, he's basically saying that if it was up to him, this guy would be, chopped liver.
Yeah, he'd be like,
On
oh,
his own.
Like
see
fuck
ya.
him.
Yeah.
This is sociopathic level shit.
This is
Fucking-
what makes like remember in Predators, they get all these people because in certain ways they are all bad people.
Yeah, they
And-
are bad. They are terrible people.
Like we got a fucking. So we've got Danny Trejo, which worked for the fucking cartels.
Yep.
Fucking Eric Foreman, which was a serial killer doctor.
We had another serial killer.
Yeah, we had the convict. But Adrian Brody's character was basically a mercenary who would sell his gun for whoever had the highest paycheck. Not to mention, as soon as things got hard, he basically just went, "Oh, leave him. Let's just use him as bait." It's like, "Oh, you're awful."
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But Dutch is not a bad person. Like, not at all.
Nope.
Mm.
Plus, these people are his friends.
Yeah, he has established history with this group. He has referred to them on multiple occasions as being his men, his unit.
Yeah.
It's not like these are strangers.
Fucking, oh god. Also, we have someone that joined.
Yes.
For-
how do you do?
Hi. So hey Slur, you with history, fucking
Oh.
tell us about stuff. I'm trying to remember specifically what that stuff was.
Tell us how super spectacular, awesome the Persian Empire was, and how they helped form Western democracy.
I mean, they had a lot of really nice ideas, like
I should probably turn you
endless
down.
conquest and enslavement not being the pinnacle of civilization, but they had this weird bad habit of conquering their neighbors.
Yeah, and now tell us how the Spartans and the Greeks were wrong for defending their lands against the invading Persian army.
Yeah,
Well, you see, the Greeks and Spartans did slavery, so they lost the right to exist, apparently.
Yeah.
And that was it. It's like the Persians were basically the ancient world's version of America, where we will give you freedom by force, whether you like it or not.
Mhm.
And everyone was like, this doesn't sound like democracy.
No.
Oh, fuck me. The video from Cracked was basically like, oh, the Persians were the good guys, and it's like they spread
Yeah.
multiculturalism, and he wore a helmet that he just wouldn't actually wear the helmet correctly.
Yeah. Like, commit to
See,
it.
it's easy to kind of get that if you have a super simplistic view of history, because the Persians were very forward in a lot of ways, but they were still a conquering fucking global power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we refer to it's like, yeah, we refer to like modern imperialism and cultural imperialism and all that stuff. But for some reason, when we put the lens backwards, it's like, well, no, technically didn't have an emperor. It's like, bruh, words have to mean things.
Yeah, and we were saying we were doing comparisons to the Roman Empire and all that stuff. Like I wish you were here for that part of the conversation, because they were just basically saying how Persia was just so fucking great because they didn't use slaves. It's like what? That's
Yeah.
fucking.
Now, comparatively, that does make them pretty fucking neato, but yeah, they were still a conquesting, territorial expanding
Mhm.
empire. In fact, their whole multiculturalism thing, that's not a special thing just for them, although they did give a few more rights to
Hey,
other religious
Jake,
people
you
and
got a
stuff,
question. It's pretty. It might be out of context. Well, it's definitely out of context because it was a certain point in the video. What was the Pred doing with the laser and his wrist blade? And it was just like I don't know what he's talking about. If there was a shot where it was showing his laser pointer and his wrist blades out, that would have been a little weird.
If he means his the forearm knives, I don't know. He could have just been scanning the area.
Yeah.
But I know if he means the disc thing that he fires from his wrist, that is aimed with the same
Right.
laser point.
well, since this is the smart disc was not introduced in Predator 1. That was Predator 2.
Yeah, a lot of the gadgets weren't.
Also, Slur, did you know that the Predator is a bad hunter because he doesn't follow Earth hunting, specifically American hunting rules?
Yeah, like he doesn't wear an orange safety vest, so therefore he's a bad hunter.
All right, I'm
Oh,
back.
what? Wait, hold on. So this guy's ideal version of Predator would have been still invisible, but also with an orange vest to comply with OSHA regulations?
It was a joke. It was a horrible, unfunny joke.
But that was like the entirety of the 5-minute video.
Yeah. He also breaks the rules with like night hunting. He wears night vision goggles, even though that's not what he wears.
Okay. Hold on. I got some clarification about the question in chat.
Okay.
Referring to Predator 1, there's a scene where Predator is listening to the jungle and he's shooting his laser at the wrist blade.
Oh.
No.
I don't
Was that
know
just
what he's
the
referring
beginnings of the smart disc? Because I remember that laser is how they guide the smart disc.
Yeah, that is normally how they do it in the video games. That's a visual representation.
Okay. So first off, what he's doing is he's taking the targeting like dot thing and he's like going over his wrist blades with it. It's really weird.
Oh,
Isn't that just Harry Scound's equipment?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to rewatch that specific scene, but I don't remember it being like a problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem. He was just examining his equipment, I guess. In a way.
Like or like he's like taking the little targeting thing. He's like going over his wrist blade.
Well, and isn't that the first time we see the blade?
Yeah.
Like, so it's almost like he's doing it more for the audience than he is for himself. Like, it's one of those, hey, look, we're introducing a new gadget. Look at it. Like, we want to focus the camera on it so you can see how cool it is.
Yeah, he's just mugging his bling for the camera.
And like maybe this is a bit too. This is probably a bit too headcanon-y, but you could probably say that this individual, that may be just a habit he has in his downtime.
It could be. I mean, we don't know enough, you know. But I just never saw like a specific problem with it.
So, Slayer, before we continue the video, what do you think of Predator? I think it's pretty neat.
I like it. I've always liked that franchise. Even though, you know, the games have always been a little bit tismy, I still really liked Concrete Jungle. And the movies are a lot of fun.
All right.
Why? Do you have a particular dislike for that game, or?
Oh no, I just I like it. I just admit it's just a little bit too far into the goofiness. I'm just like,
okay.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fucking wacky, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If we want to check it out after the video is over, the person in chat linked me the link to the specific scene that they're referencing.
How much time do we still have you, Ninja?
I'm good. I don't. The Super Bowl stuff doesn't start until like 4 or 5 o'clock my time. So
okay.
I don't have to leave my house until like 4:30 to go to my dad's. So
okay.
Yeah. So we've still got some time.
All right. So we're at the point in CinemaSins' little thing. Not Hawkins. That was Shane Black's character. I can never remember. I remember Dylan, Dutch, Billy.
It starts with a P, I think.
Blake.
No.
Blake. Yeah. No. Wait. No. Blake died. Blake was Jesse Ventura, I think.
Oh fuck me. All right.
You're talking about the guy who just got shot or whatever.
Yeah. The guy who got hit with the log.
Yeah.
And he's saying that CinemaSins is basically saying that Arnold Schwarzenegger should just leave him.
Yeah, he's like, it's weird that he's concerned about this injured guy. He should just, you know, let him fucking die and rot because he's got bigger things to worry about.
Does CinemaSins think that robots are like soldiers, or fucking soldiers are robots? Does he think robots are soldiers? I got that backwards.
Apparently so, because
I mean, Rooster Teeth does, because in Ruby they have like a highly advanced spec ops team, and they don't consider themselves friends. And that's why they got beat by a bunch of scrubs. It's really dumb, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, don't you know friendship is magic?
No,
that's the literal explanation why they lost. You lost because you didn't have the power of friendship on your side.
You know, friendship being magic and the power of friendship, it seems a lot cheaper when you're up against people with guns.
And plus, like, people in the military actually do become friends. It's a part of a whole military culture. They're your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that
And if you
that's
were
a
a Spartan, they weren't just your friends; they were your boyfriends because fucking each other improved camaraderie.
No, I loved it was either you or it was somebody. I think it was either you or it was Eli that showed me this joke. It's like Greeks invented orgies, Romans added women to it.
Background. The wounded are all on their own, as far as I'm concerned.
He didn't kill you.
Whoa!
Oh, well, you're a fucking sociopath.
The wounded
You're a
can be
fucking
left
sociopath.
behind. So the
Anyone who
Also-
says that, they're the ones getting left behind. We all know how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, hey, we're at Movie Sin Counter 69. Giggity.
Nice.
Nice.
Wait, did you tell Slur about how when Bill Duke's character said, "If these people are South American, I'm a Chinaman."
Oh
got
yeah,
3 cents 'cause
and
it's
yeah,
racist?
it was 3 cents because of racism. When it was just like, what? It's just one of
He
those.
said
Yeah,
it
he's
was
like, I'm not even gonna unpack that. There's just a lot of racist shit going on, so we're gonna send the movie 3 times and move on.
And it's
Right,
just like,
but they're not. He's just saying these people do not look like the ethnic group that they claim to look like. I will
Yeah.
demonstrate that by also claiming to be an ethnic group I do not look like to make my point.
yeah, it's
like,
like
it's-
he said
it's really not
Chinaman.
that
He
deep.
said Chinaman. You're not supposed to say Chinaman.
no, it's like
Racist.
Yeah.
if Slur.
It was that term cancelled?
I
It
think
just
so.
means man from China. Okay.
Yeah, well, that I
Whatever,
was actually,
Irishman.
I was actually bringing up how funny of an insult it is, just because it's just so basic, like how Chinaman's such a shit.
Yeah, is
tier.
Irishman
I
racist?
think-
Have I been
I think I
discriminated
have
against?
heard that there are legitimately people out there who think it's a derogatory term.
Well, it used to
Nah.
kind of be a derogatory term in the Old
yeah,
West,
But
because they weren't.
it's just
'cause they were
how we
considered
refer
second-class
to
citizens.
different people. It's like you've got an Englishman, a Frenchman,
Yeah.
a Dutchman. It's like
a Scotsman.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
got to think there are actually people out there who unironically think human and amen are fucking racist sexisms and shit. So
Yeah, because it's like it's not woman. It's not, no, we're not human. We're not what is it?
mankind.
Yeah, we're humankind.
It's like fuck off. All right, let's do this.
Because you weren't armed. No sport.
He's right, but it kind of ruins the fun that he's right, and there's no good reason he should have figured that out on his own anyway. But
why does it
whatever.
ruin the fun that he's right? The whole point is like it's a cat and mouse thing. They figure each
Yeah.
other out. They predict each other's moves. It's
Like here's the
Ah.
thing. It's really easy. It was actually pretty easy for Dutch to figure it out because, like, well, let's see now. He didn't kill you,
Despite
Anna,
how close you
when-
were to it.
Yeah, like when he killed Shane Black's character because you were tied up, you weren't a threat. Shane's Black character technically was and proved to be during the opening scene, which it was watching us. So it's like, oh, okay, so, you're not sport. You know, you're harmless. You're not.
Well,
working.
and it's not like one of those scenes from a newer movie where they're figuring it out almost like because they just have omniscience. Like, how many people have died up to this point for him to figure it out? It's not like this has been for free.
Two, I believe, at this point.
3. Actually, no.
3?
Like, hold on.
You had Shane
Jesse
Black's
Ventura's
character-
dead. Shane Black's dead.
Dylan
One of the
and
black
Mac-
guys I thought was dead.
Dylan and Mac are
No,
both
not
dead
at
by
this point. Not at this point. Not at.
No, Mac went
Yeah, so-
running off, and Dylan went after him. So, assumedly, like,
Yeah.
they are dead. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and count them, considering like 2 seconds later, it's going to show them getting shot in the face.
Yeah.
So we're at Shane Black, Jesse Ventura, Mac, Dylan, Hawkins. We're at 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. We're at 4. I counted Shane Black twice.
Well, that's fine. He did make the Predator, so you can count him twice.
How is somebody who was attached to the
He
original still
killed
making
himself, and then he killed the franchise.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, he even helped write the original film, I believe, as well.
He did.
yeah,
I don't
the
get
weaponized autism is his fault. We can
How d-
blame him.
I don't get how somebody who was this close to the original got so far off the mark.
Oh
Well,
my
I think that's
God.
kind of the problem with the assumption, because people thinking that is probably why he got the job, when in reality he was on the project. He wasn't a fucking writer, though.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. He helped write Predator.
Yeah, he helped write it. Yeah.
Well,
So did he
helped.
just-
He wasn't alone. That's the difference.
Well, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
well, actually, Shane Black wasn't alone when he wrote The Predator either. It had several writers.
So was his whole thing that when it came to the first Predator, he had a bunch of ideas that nobody would let him use, like weaponized autism.
I was going
So
to
when
say,
it came to this, making the Predator, he hired specifically other writers that would let him get away with that shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do sometimes wonder, like, when you look at Shane Black, like, what did you write? Did you write the actions? Did you write the "you son of a bitch" and then that was the end of it?
I mean, maybe it's hard to say, you know.
Yeah, all we know is that he like helped write it. We don't know how much of it was his.
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
Arnold, if the Predator is this visible while not even moving, how did it set off that trap earlier right next to Dutch and he didn't see it? Honestly, once you know what you're looking for...
Okay, so they establish you have to like really look for it.
Yeah, and
you
by
have to
this point,
really look for it.
and by this
Also,
point,
anyone in any kind of camouflage is going to look obvious when you're staring straight at them. It's when you're not looking for it, it blends into the corners of your eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure this
Like
camo...
Billy was spending a lot of time like observing the trees, and like when he finally spotted it, if he focused in on enough, he could see it. And Billy's like whole thing is tracking and survival.
Mm-hmm.
Camouflage would do all that much
Well,
good.
yeah.
I'd take a severed arm continuing to shoot a semi-automatic weapon as much as the next guy, but...
That's not a semi-automatic, that's an automatic. Fuck off.
Well, no, all guns are the same, so...
No, they're not.
Yeah, it's just a guntism. Don't get, you know.
Also, hold on.
It's black and made of plastic. Clearly, it's an AR-15.
Hold on. I'm gonna kind of pull a nitpick.
Good.
Once the
I'd take a severed arm continuing.
His finger releases for a second.
Yeah.
I
was about to be like, why is the gun still going off? Like, cause rigor mortis doesn't, like, once it's released from something, wouldn't immediately close back on it.
Well, rigor mortis wouldn't even be a thing yet.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I thought
that
if
takes
anything, it's more like
while to set in.
The nerve is just reacting because it's freshly cut
Right.
off. Like it's
Right.
it's like a leg twitch.
Right. I for some reason I thought dead nerve was the equivalent of fucking rigor mortis. That's not it at all.
Negative.
Yeah.
No.
Shoot a semi-automatic weapon as much as the next guy, but that finger definitely came off the trigger when it bounced.
Oh, he literally actually was pointing that out. I was
so
pulling it on my
congratulations,
own.
you have.
What, we're up to 2 now?
Valid.
We're up
Yeah,
to 2
2
points,
valid.
legitimate?
Yeah, 2.
Wait, 2? That's it? Really?
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
of these
2.
72 fucking sins. Only 2 of them are legit.
How did he fuck up everything else?
By just saying
Because
girlfriend's ding.
Like he even sinned things that were positive, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cheating.
That is cheating.
Yeah, that is.
That's it. After all that Billy build-up, we don't even get to see another unrealistic fight with outdated visual effects.
Fuck you saying
Outdated
the Predators.
visual.
Oh my god. Fuck
Outdated visual effects. Are you outdated?
I was to say these hold up pretty fucking well by
The
most
only
film
effect
standards.
The only effect in Predator that doesn't hold up is when the hand grabs fucking Hawkins' leg and drags him away. But that's because that was the only shot that was salvaged from the original Predator suit. Like that was.
It's like, oh my god! Like the practical effects hold up phenomenally.
Like that's like the only like I said that's
why practical effects are generally considered to be better than CG in most cases.
Fun fact with the original Predator suit, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme underneath it.
Yeah, but he was upset that he couldn't do his martial arts, so he left.
Yeah, that's why he left. Also, the original design just looks tismy as fuck.
They actually homage it in
the Predators. Yeah.
In Predators,
it's the thing that they shot while being chased by Eric Foreman.
Yeah, that was a nice little nod.
Yeah.
You're really just gonna schlock block us like that?
I do.
You still see him get his fucking spine ripped out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and they Yeah.
It is.
I can
I'm
see
not
where
gonna.
he's coming
I
from.
am kind of gonna counter against it because it was this, and then the fight against the Jamaican boss man in Predator 2. It wasn't until Predators where we actually saw the one-on-one fight and stuck with it. Like,
yeah, and that fight was so awesome, so cool.
But this was back in the day where, especially because you're using practical effects,
I
less
get
is
it.
more.
Yes, I get it.
Also, that suit was fucking, from what I understand, like horrible to work in, like all suits.
Yeah. Let's just ask the guy who worked in the Godzilla rubber suit.
Oh yeah, man. Like, oh god. Oh.
Wait, what? That Predator plasma cannon thingamajig blew a hole the size of Minnesota in Jesse Ventura and blew the right hook clean off Apollo Creed. So how is it leaving Dutch here with just a flesh wound?
I always thought it grazed him, but I actually did. I was wondering, like, how did that not take
Yeah,
off his fucking arm?
Like, yeah, that is a bit of an issue because, like, it didn't graze him. I think it hit his arm like dead on. I believe
it does. It hits him.
Yeah,
like,
I would say that he's up to 3 at this point, maybe 3.5 if we're counting the Billy thing.
Yeah.
Unless the implication is that Arnie is so fucking swole that he just absorbed the plasma radiation.
I mean, it still heavily fucks up his arm. Like,
yeah, he's bleeding, man.
And he almost like it acts like it's limp for a little while. Like
well,
he doesn't.
Actually, no, he shouldn't be bleeding because it's plasma. It would cauterize it.
That's yes. We're all.
But it didn't cauterize the wound on the severed arm.
Yeah, which is an issue.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it seems to do kind of like force damage.
At least it's consistent inconsistency.
Yeah, that's the problem. It was before we understood.
Complete in its incompleteness.
It's like before we knew what plasma really did. It's like in even in Star Wars when Obi-Wan cuts the guy off and like the guy's arm off in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Why is he bleeding? Which you want to talk about dumb canon things? There's an explanation for that. That's actually one of the dumbest things. Apparently, if you cut against the grain with a lightsaber, you cause bleeding, and it's like, what are you talking about?
That's so fucking retarded.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking dopey.
Yeah, let's continue on. We're getting so close.
Get to the chopper!
Classic Schwarzenegger line and all, but what exactly is she supposed to do when she does indeed arrive at the chopper? Oh, hey.
Fucking
turn it on.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
They're not gonna pilot the chopper. The chopper was supposed to pick them up. So I guess she'll be like, "All right, just get me the fuck out of here. I'll give you whatever you fucking need."
Well, then yeah, if she doesn't even have to drive it, then what she does is sit the fuck down and let the pilot get her out of there.
Yeah, and just be like, "All right."
I think his implication is, why would the military chopper pick up a civilian with no military escort?
Because it's a civilian in the middle of a jungle, and like she could say. Like, oh, the team.
For all they know, she could be part of the guerrilla unit that they were sent here to deal with.
That is true. That is true.
There is a lot of convenience in this idea of what the hell is she supposed to do when she gets there. But
yeah,
like if things all work right, then she just gets there, gets on board, and if no one survived, they go back to DC and interrogate the fuck out of her.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you don't even need to go that far, because if you just look at where they are, he doesn't need to have a plan once she gets the chopper. It's just the nearest possible route of escape.
Yeah,
like just run to that where you need to survive.
Get out of here. The Predator is clearly trying to kill us all, so just get out.
Yeah, we've established it will not go after you.
Yeah, so you get yourself to safety. And I'm going to just either die or I'm going to fight the damn thing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I know I'm just a local gal with the blood of your colleagues all over my shirt and all, but I was distinctly told to get to this here chopper, so all aboard? Predator already shot him. He's crawling because the Predator shot him. So why is the Predator doing nothing right now whilst he crawls towards a weapon? Oh.
So hold on. No. When they're just running away, you can tell that the Predator is basically right behind him. It's not until he falls down this slope and then falls into the waterfall that he even eludes him for even a minute. I almost want to replay this scene, except I'd be destroyed by copyrightisms. Like, the Predator is right behind Dutch the entire time, practically.
Yeah, we know what he's doing. He's savoring the kill. It's what he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
As Arnie flies off the edge, you can clearly see he is above the trees and rocks. But of course, when he lands, he has somehow been transported to above water.
Well, okay, yeah, that's so we're giving a 4. We're
4,
like,
yeah.
Like it's a legit production error because they wanted to show like, oh yeah, he's falling and there is some water there, but they let the shot linger too long to see that the distance from shore to water is too big. I accidentally snorted.
Okay, yeah, you have 4. You have 4.
My question is, why even let the POV shot go on long enough to see the ground below? I mean, I know this was made in a time when you were probably editing with rocks and sticks and such, but geez, why make it so obvious?
Okay, yes, you didn't have Sony Vegas, but it was easier than sticks and rocks. Or is that just joke because old?
Yeah, that's just joke because old. Because like the first editing, you would literally have the reel of film, and you would have to physically cut out frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing that in 1980, whatever. They'd advanced beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious. This stuntman looks nothing like Arnold, and I think the movie is kind of rubbing it in my face. Oh man, here we go.
No,
I'm about to shit on one of...
okay, so if you slow it down in slow motion, yes, you can see it doesn't look like Arnold, but if you just play it as is, it looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as is in the normal movie, it's like a blur.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fucking
look at him sucking his own dick here in this. Oh man, here we go. I'm about to shit on one of the coolest and most iconic moments in movie history.
Oh, please do, good sir. Please do.
There's a fucking there's a moment where they just fucking give a like there's a tweet where they're just like, all these years and we deliver legitimate criticism along with jokes, and it's like, do ya?
No, you don't.
Do
you? Like maybe a few here and there, but
I mean, he's at 78 and we're at what, 4?
Yeah, 4.
One of the coolest and most iconic moments in movie history. First of all, the mud is almost certain.
Oh, here it is. Here we are in our 4th video ever, The Sins of Prometheus, with Chris narrating, still showing off our early days preference for serious criticism over stupid jokes. And I'm like, movie explores the origins of juggling as their screenshot. It's like, you fucking no, you fucking idiots. Like, this is like what, like, I'll even throw the fucking screenshot on the stream-tisms.
I mean, is this kind of before they were just very blatant about using the jokes to cover the fact their criticism is shit?
I don't.
This is the tweet, guys.
Okay.
This fucking... That's pretty bad. Pull that shit away.
Certainly not cold enough to lower or mask his body temperature enough to make him invisible to the predator.
Yes,
we've all watched fucking... Yes, we've all watched fucking Mythbusters. Yeah, the mud wouldn't work in our reality. Fuck off.
Well, and here's the thing. He also fell into the water, which also probably would have cooled his body temperature down. So, but still, like...
Even if he doesn't mask it completely, just being able to obscure it in a pretty otherwise hot and humid jungle, it would just give him a little bit extra camouflage. And he only needs it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Second of all, even if it were cold enough, he didn't coat his skin fully or properly. Third,
he was crawling away. Like, he wasn't doing it on purpose, yeah. But at the same time, he's like covering his body in it just by the sheer fact that he's crawling.
He's also remaining still as well. He's like just not even moving, so that's also helping.
Even if the mud were cold enough and evenly enough applied all over Dutch, from him crawling on it, that doesn't mean the predator would be blind to Dutch. It just means the Dutch shape he sees.
Hysterically that I had kidnapped her child.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking Twitter just exploded with volume. This is dumb. It's the fucking MythBusters, like saying like that's not how it actually works.
Yeah, sure, that's fine, but like the idea. Here's the thing: the idea makes sense. You know, like, oh, okay, we'll mask my body temperature by using this mud, and the water helped cool it. You know, that kind of thing.
This is now a different, more blue color, colder than the branches and rocks, or warmer, and not the same color as humans normally read, but still, the predator should see a Dutch-sized blob right in front of it. Fourth, what about his f***ing eyeballs? Doesn't at least some heat radiate from the eyes? What is this?
Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah,
Also,
we've even seen through thermal vision in this movie. We know what they look like. It's just a white, very thin blob with like a larger reddish orangey blob.
Mm-hmm.
Because
By the
yeah,
way-
it's just your core body temperature.
By the way, I do like how they cut out the bit where the predator is looking in Dutch's direction in the thermal vision, but he doesn't see him. He cut out that bit.
Substance on me that might have blinded my foe. I shall acquire some from my shoulder to take a closer look so the audience knows for sure why this happened. The good news is at least they didn't make him actually verbalize.
He couldn't see me.
Damn it! If you knew the psychopath...
Fuck off!
Did he just sin them for showing, not telling? Did that
Yeah,
really
yeah,
happen?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, well, fucking Christ.
Pathic alien hunter was trying to track you down and somehow figured out that mud kept him from seeing you, wouldn't you just slather that stuff on before going anywhere? I'm just saying if it were me, I'd be so covered in mud it would
Because
look like Mr.
it's
Hanky was going...
absolutely impractical to slather on the mud.
Yeah,
Like,
because it dries out and cakes off. Like,
yeah,
it's a temporary disguise at best. It's not something that can be maintained.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's hoping that once he gets all the mud on and he's like, he then starts fighting him, that he'll basically kill him before the mud stops working. And unfortunately, when he jumps into the fucking like water and it washes all the mud off, that's how he fucked himself over. Like,
no, he was knocked into the water. He didn't
that's
intentionally jump in.
Well, it was when he swam and like all that stuff. Like
yeah.
Going on for
Like,
a jungle stroll.
but they just cut out the whole scene where like the predator is looking around in the thermal vision and he doesn't see Dutch.
Yeah.
You just cut that scene out.
You might think this is where the movie went full Home Alone, but that only shows how young you are, because this movie is where Home Alone got all its initial ideas from. Home Alone was literally pitched as Predator with a kid in the suburbs. Also...
Well, that's actually kind of fun.
Why did you send that?
Yeah, that's just neat.
That's just a neat idea.
Predator but a kid in the suburbs.
It's just a fun factoid about the movie. Why is it a sin?
Because shut up.
Because ding!
Ding!
Do you think every time
Fucking hate that noise.
Do you think every time he cooms, he like has that queued up on his phone, the ding?
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
See, every
I don't
time
think
the
he can
ding
even get
happens-
it up without it.
The ding happens, then he cooms. You got it in the wrong order.
No, it's like the whip sound from Johnny Test. We all remember that fucking thing.
Oh God, no.
Anything
no,
happens.
Don't remind me. God, Johnny Test was so fucking bad.
See, the problem is,
I'm happy to say I never watched it.
The funny thing about Johnny Test is got some really good memeable lines. Why are you in police officer uniforms? I blew up Malaysia. It's like, what the fuck? But it's Zoomer humor, of course, where it's just like, yeah, just keep making random jokes and making noise. That'll get
Well,
somebody
obviously it's Zoomer humor. Have you fucking seen Johnny Test? He's got the Zoomer look before that was a thing.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Once again, very kind of the Predator to peace out for a long stretch of time, so Dutch can booby-trap this second.
He's probably trying to follow back the trail. It's like, all right, where did I lose him?
Yeah, it's called doubling back, and it's something real hunters have to do all the fucking time.
Yeah, like he. Okay, so the Predator lost Dutch, so he's trying to re-find him, meaning Dutch has time to do this. You fucking retard.
Yeah. You go to the last spot where you officially know you had the trail and start again from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because clearly you have made a mistake.
And because they both went off this giant fucking ledge, he has a long trek back. Even if he goes to the trees. So fuck off.
section of the jungle in broad daylight. Let's talk about how Dutch tied this vine to this log. He wrapped it around one end over and over, and then tied a knot above that. And somehow that multi-ton log hasn't simply fallen straight down out of that not secure wraparound vine condom.
Multi-ton. What the fuck does he
Multi-ton.
think wood is made of? Does he think
Like-
it's like a car?
It's probably. I mean, it probably weighs. You could argue maybe a few, like, probably weighs like 200 or 300 pounds. It's like, yeah, but I could believe someone like Dutch, being
Like fucking
able to do
Arnold
that.
Schwarzenegger, Mr. fucking Universe, can pick it up.
Yeah.
Especially if he
physics.
fucking jury rigs it with a bunch of rope and stuff.
Yeah, he
like-
physics that bitch.
Yeah, physics. Yeah, science, bitch. It works.
Or he was a Boy Scout, and that's
There's
how
a
he
thing
practiced
called
his fucking
leverage.
knots.
Look, everyone, Dutch made a fire at night in the jungle when he knows an alien killbot with heat vision is hunting him. Hate vision!
It's a tiny fire.
It's a really small fire obscured by, like, trees and stuff. It's not a roaring inferno.
Yeah, if anything.
Also, he probably just weighed up the fucking pros and cons and decided,
I
I need
think-
the heat even if I risk him coming.
Yeah, I think at this point he's basically already got everything in place anyway. Like this is
Right,
more or
he's-
less the point where he's like, "Come and get me, motherfucker."
No, he's
Yeah, and, like-
he's doing the final steps, which is where he puts the grenade stuff in for the bow and arrow. That's like he's in the
Yeah.
last stage, but he's I would assume because he's in this last stage, he's like, all right, if he finds me, he finds me. But
That's
I'm
my
willing to
point.
put-
Like he's
yeah.
close enough to being ready that it's like if he finds me, it's on anyway. You know, we're past the point of no return.
And also, he does realize how many nocturnal animals are in the fucking South American jungle. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. So,
Yeah, so
fucking
he's
retard.
Yeah, you need that fire actually to keep some of them away.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, the predator would also have to maybe say if for example, if he doesn't see Dutch but he sees the fire, he's like, well, hold on, is that a fire or is that an animal? I don't know.
Yeah, he would just see a random little heat signature. Now, it would be a strong heat signature because fire, surprisingly, is
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
it's a
fucking
lot.
hot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's really hot. He'd probably it would be a point of interest.
Yeah.
Fire! Here in a bit, when all his traps are ready, he's going to roar into the jungle to draw the predator to him. And my point is, why? Why would he ever need to do that with this fucking signal fire going?
Well, hold on.
It's not a signal
Let's just kind
fire.
of explore that.
It's not. Look, it's
Yeah,
obscured
he
by
has
the
the
fucking
fire.
trees. Look, it's obscured by the fucking trees, and it's really small. Like,
Okay,
really
just
small.
look at this from the predator's perspective. He's like, a couple kilometers out from where Arnie is right now, and he's just scanning the tree line. He's looking for the heat signature. He sees this orange blobby area. He's like, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to go over there. Now, Arnie, because he made the fire, he knows that's probably happening. And
Yeah.
when he's ready, he roars. It's like, this is where I am specifically. Follow me. I've got a fucking trap. That's his
Yeah.
plan. That's literally the plot. So why is it a sin?
Because we need to send a popular movie that's actually really fucking good.
Cause ding.
Yeah, cause dang.
Yeah, no. Unless he chose to test fire that into the most rotten, deadest tree on planet Earth, this arrow is a lie. Of all the evil things predators have done, I think killing a platypus might be the evilest. Well,
They don't do evil things. They've never okay, like
Yeah, they
maybe-
literally just hunt interesting animals. And
Yeah.
platypuses are pretty interesting.
Yeah, the platypuses are awesome. I mean, a platypus venom can actually mess you up pretty badly. It won't kill you, but
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
mess you up.
Male platypus spurs, like those things are fucking deadly, but of course they are. It's fucking Australia. And I really just love the idea that the predator came from fucking space one year, landed in Australia, and even he was like, what the fuck is happening?
Like he gets stung by the
Fuck this
platypus.
place.
He's like, oh my god, his entire arm goes like numb.
No, he just goes to like
Yeah,
he goes to Australia, he sees an emu, he's like, that thing couldn't possibly, and it kicks him so hard he lands flat on his ass, like, ow! Okay.
No, see, now I want to see the fucking cinematic universe where the Predator just gets owned by Steve fucking Irwin.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh
that'd be
my god,
amazing.
Over there's
yes.
a
So
predator.
awesome.
It's one of the deadliest aliens in all the galaxy. I'm gonna poke it.
It's like the Predator gets
No,
caught
I'm
in the
gonna
fucking
poke him
trap,
with a stick.
ends up hog-tied on the ground.
No, yeah, what he's doing, he's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Oh, Crocky, he's angry.
I'm not gonna hurt you. And like, he just
Crikey,
starts
look at this
start-
handsome fella. And just like the
Jesus.
Predator's just fucking swearing at him.
Yeah, he's like petting him, and he's like, look at these dreads. See that? Like, it's actually not hair. It's actually made of flesh. See, they make them like this. It's incredibly painful, but it's incredibly unique to their culture.
And it's just like, get off. And
So
he's just like, get off
fascinating.
me. Get
Yeah.
off me.
Why are you touching me?
Also, when you have the American Predator movie, he learns the word motherfucker. When you have him in Australia, he learns cunt.
Get off me, cunt.
The Predator's gonna say cunt.
like,
Except
you
in
hear
Australia,
that?
it's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
So-
You
Oh,
hear
I
that?
can't.
He can mimic and learn our language.
Get
And,
off
like,
me,
and, like,
cunt.
they take him from
Fucking cunt.
and he'd like they take him to like a remote area, and like he cuts them free. It's like and he goes, woo!
You're free now, Predator. You're free. It's like,
See, the
get
head
off
cannon we
me.
just created is so much better than Asperger's.
No.
Yeah.
I would love-
but here's the thing. I'm pretty sure any Yauja would look at Steve Irwin and go, "He is great warrior."
Right? Like mad respect, props.
Yeah, he's
Moving
the one
on.
who gets to. He doesn't even need to fight him. He just hands him like the flintlock pistol. He's just like, here you go. That's your free pass.
Just
I'm
gets
like-
him like a fucking combi stick. He's like, here you go, bud. This
Like,
is for you.
wow.
Or yeah, the
this is
next
great."
Predator movie after that, the sequel is literally just an episode of Danger, 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 but on another fucking planet.
No, yeah, Predator is fucking Steve Irwin got transported to that fucking planet.
Yeah,
He's just like,
it's the deep lore. He didn't die to a fucking stingray. The Yautja took him.
he's like,
Yeah.
I'm on this alien planet. I'm Steve Irwin. I'm on intergalactic danger, danger, danger.
And here's the thing, it's like, if you think about it, if you think about their culture, that actually very possibly could be their favorite TV show.
He's like,
'Cause they fucking
Exactly.
eat that shit up.
they're like on Predator Homeworld. They're just like, oh, this guy's fucking sick. And then they find out he dies. Everybody on Predator Homeworld's just so pissed. They're like, yeah, build him a
Yeah.
build a statue of him. He fucking deserves it. Statue of Steve Irwin.
Instead of the
Just-
weaponized autism movie, we get the fucking Stingray genocide Predator movie.
Yeah, they're just like, this is for fucking Irwin. Take that.
Fuck all of the stingrays. They're just pointing the plasma cannons in the water and just shooting.
It's just a Predator just on the shore of like a petting zoo where you touch the stingrays and he's just shooting openly into it. Choo, choo, choo.
Or you remember how in AVP they had that like big wall carving that shows them fighting the xenomorphs? You just get another one of them fighting the stingrays from space.
And Steve Irwin and like a fucking
Yeah,
ceramic
flappy
cloud.
son
Framed like a
bitches.
god.
Yeah, it's just Steve Irwin looking down as the Predators.
Hollywood, you cowards, make it happen. We're here for you.
Steve Irwin's
Our
son.
contact information is in the description below.
Steve Irwin's son would probably be like, he'd probably think this is the most badass thing in the world.
Oh, dude, you
Yeah,
could totally get Bindi for it. She'd do it.
As somebody who's actually watched Bindi grow up, because I actually was watching the episode where she was born, and this may sound, I know she's an adult now. This is kind of, makes me feel a little bit creepy. God damn, she is gorgeous.
Well,
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
she got a lot of her dad's personality. Like
it's kind
Yeah.
she has got a good head on her shoulders for sure.
But I mean, look at the gene pool she was working with. Like,
Yeah.
beyond just being a really cool guy, Steve Irwin was a fucking Chad.
Oh yeah,
He was.
He hired an MMA guy to be his bodyguard and also to teach him MMA stuff. And he said like Steve actually could have competed professionally, and it's just like, oh,
I mean, the dude wrestles gators. Like, what the fuck does a human think they're gonna do?
Gators?
And
Bitch, he
crocodiles.
wrestles crocodiles, bro.
Yeah, I'd be
fuck
like,
with
if I was an MMA, I'd be like, nah, bro, Steve, you're cool. Man. You're good.
over here is Conor McGregor. I'm gonna poke him with the stick.
Watching an old
Taps
documentary
down as I beat his
of him
bitch ass.
of him on YouTube going for like the 10 deadliest snakes on the planet, and like most venomous, I should say. And like he was looking at the inland taipan. He was like up close and personal. Now, granted, here's the thing: inland taipans are very cool. You know, they have a very agreeable personality. They're not really aggressive, but it actually got so close to his face, it like actually licked him, and then it slithered away. I'm like, bro, like if you get bit out in the middle of the outback, you're dead.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
he's
you're fucked.
so chill about it.
Well, that's because he knows the animals could smell fear. So he's just like, well, just don't be afraid then. And everyone's looking at him like,
what is
what?
Well, no, here's the thing. He actually admitted he was terrified. Which
Oh yeah, but he could suppress it because he
But
knows
he's
that if he
part
makes
of-
like sudden movements, the snake will get jumpy.
Yeah, he's part of the alpha group of humanity. He's up there with like Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers and Stan Lee, you know, just these human legends that took physical form for a while.
See, that's why I believe in Fact Fiend when they say like they started this funny joke concept called Ultra Heaven, and it was just like the awesomest dudes get into Ultra Heaven to just do certain things. Like Freddie Mercury is up there he's just playing piano for God. Bruce Lee's just the bodyguard. It's just all Carrie Fisher's just doing Carrie Fisher's just doing cocaine off Mary.
Yeah, snorting up like the clouds. It's like, Carrie, stop. We need those.
But Steve Irwin is like up there, and he's like giving inspirational speeches, making people feel real good.
Bob Ross does fucking painting classes every day, and if anyone really
Bob Ross literally just paints sunsets. That's what he does now.
Yes.
He paints sunsets.
We're gonna make a few happy little trees here. There we go. That looks really
And
nice.
actual fucking trees grow on Earth. It's like God just kind of left him in charge and didn't tell him that it wasn't a painting.
And even if he was, he'd be really happy. Like, well, I'm just glad I was able to bring such beautiful sights to the planet. I don't know why I made him sound like Mr. Rogers. I accidentally do that every time. I fucking make them both sound the same when that's not what they sounded at all. It was just Mr.
A real
Rogers.
good friend to me today. I hope you know that.
Mr. Rogers is like, in case anyone has any like kind of doubts of why they're in Ultra Heaven, they get to talk to Mr. Rogers and they'll feel better. Like you deserve to be up here.
Exactly. Like, wasn't there a thing where like somebody stole Mr. Rogers' car, but they returned it with a note apologizing?
I mean, how could you not?
I mean,
as soon as he found out whose car it was, he probably
like,
just
so
fucking
sorry.
cried. He felt so bad.
Yeah, he's like, I stole Mr. Rogers. I need to give it back.
Yeah, that's like one of those do not pass go, you know, direct to hell, you know, that kind of thing. Like, geez, can't be doing that.
Like,
it's like the guy who punched Rick Moranis on the fucking subway. Like, fuck that guy.
Oh yeah, that was recent.
Yeah.
And it was just so fucking random.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought it was a meme at first because it was just so nonsensical. It's like I wake up one day, everybody's talking about how Rick Moranis got punched. I was like, this is a strange shitpost, but okay. And then it's like, oh no, it's just a thing that happened. Fuck.
Yeah, he actually just got punched in the stomach. Was it
For
the
like
stomach
no
or the
fucking
face?
reason. No, he got punched in the fucking face. Like, dude decked him hard.
Oh yeah,
Why?
he got knocked the fuck out.
Why would somebody do that to Rick Moranis, like one of my favorite actors of all time?
Yeah, no, it's fucking weird. Nobody really understood it. But everyone was like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Even if I buy that whole mud on your skin thing, applying it directly next to a raging fire seems counterintuitive. Also, what is he looking at? Did he find a mirror out here?
What were you saying, Jake?
Well, how is it counterintuitive applying mud next to a fire?
They probably
I
say
guess
it would dry
because
out
it'll warm up a little bit, but
That's not how that works, though. It's not. It's a really small fire.
I was thinking it would dry out, and that's why it would suck.
well, yeah, it's not going to do that either. Not within like the
Well,
time he
yeah, of
slaps it
course.
on and goes out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Arg. I swear if Chris Hansen popped out right now, I'd take off 50 cents. Wouldn't all these...
What?
What?
Wait, what the fuck?
So he sinned for Arg, and he sinned for Chris Hansen not popping out.
What, to catch a
Fuck
predator? That's the
him,
joke.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was just like some random bullshit, but no, that's even worse.
These explosions be counterproductive for the Predator's heat vision? Why wouldn't whatever the Predator version of Smith & Wesson is have developed a more non-explosive weapon system? Oh no!
It's literal
Because its whole
plasma.
point is to take down tanks and vehicles because they deliberately hunt more evolved species.
More evolved, more like that's the whole thing. And like he's firing, and yes, it would be counterintuitive, but he doesn't know where Dutch is, and he's trying to drive him out. It's like a reverse of what happened earlier in the film. Fucking brainlet.
Almost like they learn off of each other and adapt to fight one another, which is what makes it
Exactly.
compelling.
Yes.
No.
Fucking-
The Predator's unfair space laser is broken? That's too bad. Who needs breadcrumbs when the
How
alien antagonist...
It's unfair. It's not, oh, it's unfair space laser. Okay, well, I mean, technically speaking, like the minigun in terms of like damage over time is more powerful than the plasma caster. So
its
Yeah.
DPS potential
It's like
is
their race does have actual proper guns. They deliberately
Yeah.
don't bring them. That shoulder thing is the equivalent of like a single Glock. That's what you're
yeah,
bringing.
they have I think they're called burners, which are actual automatic rifles. They also have blazers, which are like a single stream of plasma that can get up to the temperature of the cores of stars.
Slur, could
They're
you
like-
imagine what a fucking
Yeah.
predator could do if he had a fucking bolter? He'd be unstoppable.
I mean, they
Yeah.
came here across space. They are literally as equipped as they want to be.
Uh-huh.
They have like war suits, like they have like
Oh
war
god,
suits.
the
that
predator
are
killer?
No, we're talking about like things that aren't retarded. They like that are immune to xenomorph blood, that are highly resistant to burning and corrosive, all that stuff. But they don't bring that shit because that's for war, not for hunting. Fucking, I mean, I know that's
It's kind of like
but
why you
remember,
don't
Jake-
bring a fucking AK-47 to hunt pheasant. It's just gonna take the fun away.
yeah.
No,
Why-
but
why
remember, he
maybe.
doesn't have
I
an
think that
orange
would still be
vest, so
pretty
he's
fun,
a
but-
bad hunter.
Yeah, he doesn't have an orange vest on. Fucking brain.
Oh, by the way, we also talked about we brought up jujitsu to Jake and how great of a movie it is.
Oh no.
The fucking
It's an experience.
the fucking warrior poet in a sci-fi sense.
I
The
have
spaceman.
no regrets for bringing that up.
No, in fact,
So-
we're gonna need
Yeah.
to eventually fucking like bring like some serious film critic person from EFAP and just talk about, like, we're gonna try to straw man it how great it is and just see how long they can stand it before they just start yelling at us.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so good. Like,
By the time we get to Nick Cage and his fucking paper hats, it's over. You're not getting past that
dude,
point.
remember the part with the fucking weird first-person cam during the fight scenes?
Yeah.
Out of like nowhere, we were so
Yeah.
confused. Like,
Oh,
what the fuck
We
is
actually
happening?
couldn't tell what was happening.
Let's not forget that time that that guy just pulled out a shotgun and shot the damn thing. And we were just like,
No,
yeah.
that was it, dude. That was the grandma. The
Yeah, the
fisherman's
granny
wife.
pulls out a shotgun.
No, there was two
Out of
moments.
The
nowhere.
fisherman's wife is the best character.
There were two moments with the shotgun. There was with the soldier guy who shot him, and he was just like, "All right, he's dead," and then he regenerates and stabs him. It's just like, no, just keep shooting him. What are you doing? And then yeah, shotgun grandma who just fucking had like a spaz 12 out of nowhere. Just fucking.
Also, since we're talking about jujitsu, it's like his face in that movie. After
Oh.
watching TASM 2 last night, I was getting flashbacks. It's the same face.
You know what you
It
must
really
do
is.
now. You know what you gotta fucking Photoshop it.
Why would I? They've already done it. It would be redundant.
It's really bad.
Oh, hold on. Slur, see if you can find just one of the original pictures and then show him the Cinema Virgin picture I had you do.
Hold on, I'll see if I still have it.
is bleeding in intervals this regular. Instead of easily killing him here, the Predator traps his skull, then picks him up and throws him against a tree, then leaves him and walks away and takes off his mask because he wants to fight fair here at the end now that he's fought unfair the whole movie to wipe everyone else out.
Because Dutch has proven himself to be worthy of such.
I think it might be in this
It'll
chat.
be in the chat. You just have to scroll up.
No, it's no. If you go into the New Year's chat, here it is.
I'll say it's the one with the 6 people in it. Yeah, there's the Fat Man. There's the Fat Man Photoshop we did, and there's Cinema Venom in the Jiu-Jitsu monster.
And then also the picture of him holding the picture of Lurtz.
Yeah. We were on a little bit of a tangent. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the jiu-jitsu creature.
Let me throw up the banner.
And there's Nick Cage with the paper hat. Like it's so great.
Let me throw up some. So somebody copy and paste those while I put the pictures up on stream. Actually, no, never mind. You can just look at the screen share. That's the fucking alien.
Okay, yeah, right. That's not Photoshop. That's just what it actually looked like.
Yeah, that's genuinely like scenes from these movies unaltered. Like it's fucking insane.
Hold on, and then the ultimate. Hold on, the ultimate edit that we got Luke to do. Okay, for the audience, hold on. I need to throw the banner down. This is what the main bad guy of Jiu-Jitsu looks like. Let me fucking.
That's his actual face.
Yeah.
Which they use a lot, by the
Yeah,
way.
they
Like
show it
it's
every, like,
you
they
would
show
think they
that
would use it
way too
sparingly, but no, they're like proud of it.
Yeah, they were like, I gotta show this off every 20 seconds, guys. And then, of course, Nick Cage wearing the paper hat. But it takes time, and I got plenty of time. Oh, and then, of course, because we had to do it, Cinema Virgin. Fuck you.
I forgot how fucking cursed it was when it came out, honestly.
Wait, is that cinematic Venom?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I threw it together while
on
we
New
were
Year's
watching.
Eve, we were fucking like we got a watch party together because we decided to have New Year's tisms. We watched Jiu-Jitsu. We showed a friend of ours who was a really gigantic fan of Lord of the Rings. We showed them the Cinematic Venom review. Then we watched a movie called Fat Man, which was Mel Gibson
which was
playing...
way better than we thought it was gonna be, honestly.
Yeah, we were legit like we were silent and just watching the fucking movie. We were like, this is amazing.
We were expecting it to be as terrible bad as Jiu-Jitsu was, and we were like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good. Like, way to go, Mel Gibson.
Should I just
he kind of nailed it.
Should I just throw this on the stream and just have this just be like the peepo of the episode? Just have it just hang out.
Yeah, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah.
He can replace Lord Edgy the Hedgy for this episode.
I'll throw him up in for Ivan instead, so I can make this just easier on the file transfer as I quickly.
Yeah, but
save
Ivan's all topical because we have a Power Rangers fan.
It's true.
Oh yeah. Jiu-Jitsu-tism. I forgot that's what you named that fucking picture. Oh Jesus, yeah, I'll just add image to fucking OBS. I'm just gonna call this picture Tism and browse, go to my downloads.
I don't know if that's a good idea because over time you're going to end up with a lot of things from me that are just going to be called Tism.
Well, no, it's for just right now. I'll pull Edgy back, and then move Tism, Cinematic Tism over it.
Cinematic Tism.
Did Cinematic Venom make a documentary about himself?
Oh yeah, I was the one who was elected to just kind of check it out in case we wanted to cover it, and it's not good for covering on here, but it is certainly a interesting watch.
Yeah, we do need to watch it.
Has a lot to say. Yeah.
Okay.
But back to
be
this
prepared.
But back to the Tism one we were currently watching.
This image. Hold on. I'll take a screenshot of what the stream looks like. Fucking, that's what this looks like. Oh my god.
I'm not.
Oh my god.
It looks like he's either
It's just
trying
the perfect
to read,
expression.
or he's disappointed in CinemaSins. Either way, I mean, it works.
I'm disappointed in CinemaSins, but I mean,
Dutch. Now he wants to make sure it's mono alien, and honestly, he can right the hell off. This does mean that the Predator has found a suitable mate, right? That's where this
Wait,
seductive
what?
striptease is heading.
okay, so here's the thing. Before we got distracted, he said that like, oh, now the Predator is starting to make things even. When
Yeah, now he's starting to fight fair.
Now he's starting to fight fair. Where it's like, I mean, he found somebody who's a worthy opponent.
Guys, I fixed it.
Also, it's 1-on-1. He doesn't need to be on his guard as
I
much.
fixed it even further. It's like he's looking down on the film.
His just look of baffled disgust.
In the sci-fi sense.
The spaceman.
This is
The
why we
space
can't have
virgin.
Nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
I love this. I love this. It's the Chad Arnold versus the Virgin Cinematic Venom.
Why does some Predator?
Arnie's just bare chested and Cinema Virgins in power armor.
Yeah, Arnold is kicking his ass still. Just like, get over here. Lord of the Rings is still bad. Just like gets his ass kicked.
Well, wait, why does some Predator vision without the mask still looks like he sees in heat? Well, maybe that's because that they see it in a different color spectrum than we do. You stupid retard.
Yeah, they don't see like us. Even though in the video, well, the thing is, in the video games, when they see like us, that's kind of just a gameplay thing. Because
that's
it would probably be really bad if we saw them in the red vision whenever we didn't have the regular thermal vision on. We'd probably get
Predator
very
2
confused.
kind of retconned that a little bit, that they still see in the thermal, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, City Hunter should have been fucking blind for most of that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument that maybe the mask kind of helps filter / focus the vision if that's how they normally see things.
Yeah. Because if I remember correctly, this could have just been, I believe this was when they were in the meat locker, but I do think that it's a little bit more blurry without the mask. But I could be wrong. That could have just been like the swinging cold carcasses and whatnot.
I think the only difference I've ever really noticed is that when he doesn't have the helmet, you don't get any kind of zoom or enhancement or like HUD details.
And there's more red to it as well.
Yeah.
Without the mask, look like he still sees in heat vision, and other times it just looks completely red. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were just
Maybe
cycling
because
through
he
cool
still
80s.
sees an infrared, but like the mask just makes it better. Did you ever consider that?
Yeah, snakes are a thing. That's just how they see.
Well, boids and vipers do, but not like elapids.
Oh yeah, not all snakes.
Yeah.
Hashtag not all snakes.
Yeah.
These video effects are
Hashtag
making
snake me too.
Oh my god.
Oh god, no.
Exactly.
it up as you go along. You don't have to read Predatorese to know a good old-fashioned pointless bomb countdown when you see one.
Pointless?
Pointless.
I don't know if you're familiar with how bomb timers work, my dude, but they have a very definitive point.
Yeah, it's called get away before the
usually to get away from it before it goes boom. Like just normal hand grenades have a timer.
Yeah, it's a 4-second timer most of the time. The 101 sins, but
only like 4 of them were legit.
Yeah.
And like 2 of them were nitpicks, I think.
Jesus Christ.
So if you want to get super technical, that does mean he mixes actual criticisms with humor. Technically, he just never specifies the proportions.
No. God, that video was garbage.
I want to be the people's governor.
Space. What?
Oh, that's right. This is this is in early days where he'd mix jokes in like in the last second.
The final frontier.
This is the end.
When you absolutely, positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitute.
That's not funny.
It was my friend.
Yeah, these are just like early internet non-memes.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, Tissa.
What?
Copyright says immediately just pull the shoot.
Yep. All right. That was awful. That was terrible.
Yeah, that was a whole big lot of nothing burger.
I like how we're in our own, my own recommended.
God, everything great about Alien Covenant. Everything great about Alien Covenant? Are you kidding me?
I mean, it ends at some point, and hopefully will be retconned in the future. Those are good things, I guess.
That was everything wrong with it. Where did you see everything great with it?
Scroll up. It's above us.
Oh, jeez.
Then there's the Patrick Willems video about how he says Alien Covenant is great.
Also, I love how the placement of that implies the algorithm thinks you will like that more than the thing you are currently doing.
It's like, oh,
Wow.
okay, asshole. And you wonder why I gave you so much shit during my fucking survey. I was just like, okay, fuck you.
Everything wrong with Alien in 11 minutes or less.
Oh.
I mean, 11 minutes or less is pretty short, and probably because there's really not that much wrong with that movie.
There's nothing wrong with Alien. I can't think of a single fucking.
The only things that are wrong are very superficial, like when Dallas turns around to see the xenomorph and he's like, "Give me a hug."
Oh yeah, it's like, get out of the way, Lambert, and Lambert doesn't move at all. That's pretty logical for Lambert's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the same as this. Like the 5 scenes that this was given, so far they all just seem to be very superficial production errors.
Yeah,
or minor continuity
the
things.
one of the legitimate ones was like, oh well, the plasma caster like blew a hole through Blake's chest, took Dylan's arm off, but like it just kind of bloodied Arnie's arm. It didn't take it off. So
everything wrong with Pulp Fiction. That's 20 minutes. I don't know if you guys know this, but Pulp Fiction's a pretty great movie. It's a damn near flawless.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Here's the thing. I tried watching Pulp Fiction when I was like in my mid-teenage years, and I just got bored of it. But that's because I was like 16. So
yeah, give it another chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like how I've never seen fucking Reservoir Dogs. I need to fucking sit down and watch it.
I was about to say, like, you're the one trying to talk to me about Pulp Fiction when, like, I've seen all of Quentin Tarantino's stuff.
Well, specifically, Pulp Fiction's the one I know the most. That's why I was like, you're trying to say that there's, like, 20 minutes worth of fucking wrong things with Pulp Fiction? I don't fucking think so. That's not true. I know a lot of his newer stuff. Pulp Fiction onwards, Kill Bill, fucking Django, Hateful Eight, and Glorious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
When I watched The Glorious Bastards when I was like 15 years old, or when did that come out? 2009?
Subjective take. Fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is fucking boring as all hell.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Liked it, but I went in not expecting an action movie because like I had someone warn me ahead of time. It's really more like a character drama. It's not.
It's a character
action-y
drama
at all.
like for 20 minutes is also a partial love letter to classic Hollywood. I just wasn't expecting that.
And it had some scenes that were really fucking cool. Like the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio's like they actually show him on set going into and back out of character again. It's like that was just really fucking interesting to watch.
Yeah. I guess I was kind of expecting, because I had the ending spoiled to me. I was expecting it was just gonna be that for the entire movie, because I guess I've gotten used to. I know Quentin Tarantino is known for like his dialogue and that kind of stuff, but I only knew him as the grotesque violence guy. So it's just like, oh, yeah, I
No,
can't wait for
the
that stuff.
point is that it's this
Yeah,
slow burn. It's
yeah,
this
it is a
tension
slow
building
burn.
throughout the entire
Mhm.
film, and then the ending itself is fucking brutal.
Yeah,
So
I love the soup can. Is
That
fucking,
act, yeah, he turned a fucking soup can into a deadly weapon. That thing was fucking brutal.
what
yeah,
we
and the
could,
fucking dog, man.
what would we
Oh
could,
yeah.
we got to ask if we would critique Pulp Fiction. I mean, it's a pretty
Would I
good film.
critique it? I mean, it would probably be like my equivalent of one of Mahler's praise videos.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, look at
Yeah,
this
I
shit.
mean, I'd happily sit through it and comb through the entire movie, like
I mean, yeah,
actually talking about what works, and if we see something that doesn't, talking about why it doesn't. So,
If I
I
had to like
don't.
put together a group of movies that are like, my go-tos, like when I'm trying to work on my writing and stuff like that, like it's definitely in there. Like a lot of his work is like, especially for dialogue, like just man, the guy is a master at doing it. Like you can have an entire scene where it's nothing but people talking. The tipping scene from Reservoir Dogs is fantastic. You learn
I mean, just
so
the fact
much
that his
about these characters.
dialogue is so quoted, like normal conversations about nothing in that movie have been quoted like decades later.
Oh, guys,
Oh
hold on.
yeah.
Hold on. I just realized a comment. Did you really send a commando team for not leaving their wounded behind? It's just like,
Yeah, he really did because he's a fucking sociopath.
What a
my
fucking.
men are not
God.
expendable line deserves to take a set
Well,
off.
that's the thing. He literally sinned both. He sinned him when he said the line, "My men are not expendable." Then he sinned him again when he was like, "Oh, you should just leave him behind." It's like, but you can't have it both ways.
No, you
Pick
can't.
one.
Here's the thing.
All
I
is
thought,
ding.
yeah. Oh, everything wrong with Godzilla
Consume the
commercial.
ding. Well, I mean, that was an experience. We watched 2 short cracked videos and a CinemaSins video.
I want to kill myself.
Just at the last minute
Yeah.
to get some shit in on Cinema fucking Sins.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's definitely some suffering for one day.
Yeah. When are we gonna cover a Cinema Wins video? Probably never.
If you do, give me a holler if it's something I've seen.
I feel like
I mean, we could.
It's the same like level of criticism. It's just from the other perspective. Like this is good because ding.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
But here's
thing happened. Ding.
I find Cinema Wins a lot more annoying than Cinema Sins.
We had this conversation with Evan. I find Cinema Wins more annoying because his whole thing is positivity, regardless of the flaws. When Cinema Sins' whole thing is like it's shit because of its flaws, and it's like, whoa.
I mean, like it's shit because of its flaws. There's at least more connection there, even if it's wrong.
I don't know if I could pick one I like or dislike more. To me, they're both the exact same thing.
Watching him gush over
it's
legit
like
good
saying your favorite side of the coin is heads instead of tails, but it's still the same coin.
Right.
Yeah.
I
think it just comes down to whose voice is more irritating.
I almost want
I don't know, they
to
both
And
do
I
the
can't
fucking
really make a
ding.
decision there either.
I
Honestly.
almost wanted to throw on like one of those videos just so you could hear it, but that would mean we'd sit through even longer. So
Yeah,
we'll
we're
say
just
no.
gonna get.
we would
sucked
actually
into it.
probably watch it all the way through, and then like we'd want to kill ourselves even more.
Yeah, it's not bueno. But you know, the goal with today being the
Yeah, this was short
American holiday that it is, you know.
Yeah.
We planned on doing kind of a shorter stream than usual, so that's we
Yes.
still covered a decent amount in a short amount of
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're gonna cut off the stream probably relatively soon because of Super Bowl tisms. But how many of us are actually gonna watch the Super Bowl? We know Ninja is.
I am. I'm gonna go with my dad.
I mean,
don't
the
care.
Spoodlander probably isn't because he's un-American.
I was
but-
gonna.
Yeah, I have no interest.
I was gonna ask like if
I mean,
we wanted
I
to do
don't-
anything post stream, but that probably isn't happening.
Nah.
So
But,
It
okay,
just depends. I still got like 2 hours to kill.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe, but you know, we'll see.
Jake, plug your channel. Plug. Do
all right.
your thing.
So So it's Jake the Surgeon, all one word.
All of
I
us
do
in
reviews.
all of us in EFAP posting are trying to get you to 4,000 hours.
Okay. Okay, I need to get to 4,000 hours so I can make a penny on my videos. So that'd be nice. I do. I have shitty Let's Plays. If you want to laugh at me, if you want to go to my older, really bad content and laugh at me, I will laugh with you because it's really bad. But I did some of my recent stuff. I like to think is good. Oh, if you're a Ruby fan or somebody who still watches like me and you don't know why, I'm reviewing the current season. It's really bad. So if you want to watch the continued holocaust of my sanity, go right ahead.
I mean, what's
No,
worse?
that's an endorsement.
What's worse,
Yeah.
Ruby or Genlock?
I haven't seen Genlock.
Oh, I have. It's bad.
Like, oh, I saw Genlock and I'm like, oh, this cast looks pretty neat.
Yeah, they got David Tennant attached to it somehow.
Yeah, David Tennant, Michael B. Jordan, Dakota Fanning.
What is Genlock? I've never
It's-
heard of that.
It's like I think they even got it to air on Toonami, by the way. Like on national television, it aired on national television. Just gonna say that right now.
And you almost said national television. Terrible vision.
National Terror Vision. I remember I remember Terror Vision. That was a funny movie.
Oh God. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.